What's in the box? What's on the board? Are you winning or getting floored? Risk it all or play it safe. Every move decides your fate. Nothing to see here, hey, hey, hey. The thrill of the game lights the way. Big, bold choices, they're calling you. Nothing to see but dreams come true. Nothing to see here, hey, hey, hey. Step right up, it's your lucky day. Spin that wheel and take your chance. Life's a game, come join the dance. Behind the curtain lies a prize. Could be gold or just goodbyes. Will you risk it? Will you play? Or walk away with a shrug today? Nothing to see here, hey, hey, hey. Big decisions, don't delay. Choose your path, the stakes are high. Fortune's waiting, give it a try. What's in the box? What's on the board? Are you winning or getting floored? Risk it all or play it safe. Every move decides your fate.
Oh, yes. Is the mic rolling?
Nothing to see here, hey, hey, hey.
No show today, obviously. You know, I mean, what's there even to talk about? The Epstein stuff is so boring. You know, who would even want to talk about something? It's like, yawn. So I just figured we'll turn it into a dance party, you know. I made my ponytail wag. All right. Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down, simmer down, simmer down. I take it back. Actually, there is a lot to talk about. I know the president said that there's nothing. I mean, chat room, you guys know. You're probably over it right now. I think right about the time we were all ready to just kind of figure out what's the next giant fucking mess this dipshit can get us into, and what kind of wreckage can he, you know, after he's successfully ignored Texans to death, and fucked up the economy with his yo-yo tariff taco threats and all that kind of stuff. Where could we possibly have gotten even? It could get worse. How could it possibly? Well, apparently another shoe is about to drop. Besides the one that Trump's big fat cankles are in. In case you missed that as well, Trump was diagnosed with stage 4 cankles. I think even, let's see, is it, who did it? Oh yeah. Even Benny Johnson has noticed that Trump isn't well. Now this, I gotta tell you, is this gonna be the next hoax? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see some consistency in the nothing burger hoaxes. Because it's one thing to be able to hoax something as, you know, decades long and horrifying and deep and full of evidence as something like the Epstein files and the things that were involved in that. That's easy. That's old school, you know, regime change bullshit. You know, governments have been doing that since carrier pigeons were a thing. But faking bruising on your opponent's hand, that's got to be a new one. Yes, the handshake bruise, which apparently is caused by aspirin therapy. Now, can anybody guess what the current thinking is on aspirin therapy for people Trump's age and the like? Because I looked it up. Because along the lines of, I think it was in 2015, the AMA did a thing about, and the American Heart Association, the AMA, did a thing about how cholesterol is no longer a nutrient of concern in terms of heart disease. They were totally off on that. There's an element of cholesterol as a specific kind, but it's not the kind they've been measuring. The LDL and HDL, you know, that isn't the thing to measure to see if people are going to have a heart attack. They've been chasing that far too long, and it was actually not indicative. And so they quietly buried that in 2015. Some people still sell it, but it's not really the current thinking. Hasn't been for a long time. So I went and looked up, is aspirin still recommended for heart health, ladies and gentlemen? And you'll be shocked to find out, not really. Because I was like, I think there was a reversal. This is where the guidelines have shifted in recent years. There was a reversal. Still recommended, people who should take it, people who've already had a heart attack, a stroke, or a stent. This is secondary prevention, and the benefits outweigh the risks. The risks, the benefits outweigh the risks, meaning there are risks that if you haven't already had a heart attack, are worse than, no longer is it recommended generally for people over 60 with no history of cardiovascular disease. And since Trump is the most healthy president we have ever had, and clearly a man who would live to be 200 years old if he didn't eat junk food and have syphilis, clearly, you know, he definitely, this is him. I mean, this is him in a sentence. People at low risk for heart attack or stroke. Obviously, the healthiest president in the history of humanity clearly is at low risk, right? This is due to increased risk of bleeding, including GI bleeds and brain hemorrhages. Yeah. It can give you a brain hemorrhage. Aspirin therapy, if you haven't already had a fucking heart attack, it can give you a brain hemorrhage, which explains a lot. Because I've come to the determination lately, kids, that the only time Donald Trump does not smell burnt toast is when he's actually shitting his pants. And I like the smell of burnt toast, so it's nice. You know what I mean? It's like cookies baking in an adjacent room or something like this. It can be pleasant. I'm guessing when he shits his pants, it's acetic. It's shit with acetic overtones. Eye burning, right? Okay, then it is on a case-by-case basis for adults 40 to 59. 40 to 59, he's not an adult 40 to 59. I'm just saying. I'm an adult 40 to 59, but I do not have a high risk of cardiovascular disease, but no history of events. It's case by case. I would not be the case. The decision should be individualized with a doctor, yes. But the point being is that it is no longer generally recommended for people his age who haven't already had a heart attack or a stroke. So what does that tell us? That tells us that Donald Trump has had a heart attack or a stroke or both. Yeah, I know the Substack isn't up right now. I don't quite know what the shisa happened. It's acting a bit weird. Hold on. Here's this little guy. What are you doing? Why are you popping out? How's this not working? What are you doing? I'll move this up here. It says it's on, but it ain't. Hold on. Let me try this. And I try Substack again. Give me 1 second. Go back to me solo for a second. Or actually, I'll talk to you guys. I tried to load it twice, and it's just being weird. Substack. I think it might be the vertical plugin that's got some problems. That would be my guess. Okay. And then we go to here, and we go to that. And let's see. Stop all. Stop all. It's not stopping. It should stop, but it's not stopping. That's not working? Okay. Well, here's the thing. I am start the vertical virtual camera. Just do that. Is there a thing? Okay, good. I am going to, let's see, cancel. How do I do it? I think this might be a thing. Hold on. New post, new live video. Generate stream cancel. Okay. Maybe there's another thing. No. Could be a thing here. Okay. I'm going to try something as a variant on this. It might just work for the Insta-ing, but it might not. Who knows? Oh God, whatever. I don't need a security code right now. Please. Ugh. Please. All right. It's going to take its sweet time, isn't it? Loading back into things. I got to tell you, kids, it's a thing. All right, I'll wait on that. So, I want to see what the next Epstein shoe to drop is. By the way, I don't want to give it away, but it's a Wall Street Journal article. Wall Street Journal is going to be putting out or is working on a deep dive into Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and it ain't pretty. It's going to be, I've said this a bunch of times, and I want to cover something, and I apologize ahead of time, but Glenn Beck did one of these specials that he does, where it's like a half-hour thing. We don't have to watch all of it. I'll just watch the opening of it, because holy shit. But they keep trying to sell this whole idea to themselves that, if he was in it, the Democrats would have released it, and he's definitely not in it because, well, I'll show you. Fuck this. But the Wall Street Journal, when they dive in, they're like, he should just dump everything. That was the big thing yesterday. He should just dump it all, and just let everybody see it. You don't have to be afraid of it. Don't worry about it. Just release it. The only reason he wouldn't is if it's worse. Whatever you believe about Donald Trump, whatever they believe about Donald Trump, the stuff that's in the files is worse. It's worse. Okay? No matter what you think it is, and I can think of some awful shit, it's worse. Oh, this is a good question. Chat room, did anybody watch the Katie Johnson video I gave you guys the link for? Did anybody watch that yesterday? It takes a minute, I'm sure. Let's see. Send the thing. Resend it. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that was there. Okay. SMS been resent. Anybody? Yeah, I understand if you can't watch it. Right? Yeah, Tara, it's fucking terrible. It's like her description, the whole thing about how like the handlers would slap the girls basically if they touched Trump's dick without a glove on because he was such a germaphobe, and like he was like a stickler about condoms until he wasn't. That's why he wanted the virgin girls. It's just fucking gross. It's so gross. And here's the thing. The pictures that Michael Wolff describes of the girls laughing at the stain on his pants, the topless girls of questionable age, laughing at him and pointing at the stain on his pants when he was with Jeffrey Epstein, and they were in those pictures that he saw. Michael Wolff saw these photos. And this is why all reporters should wear meta glasses everywhere they go. So you could just be filming whatever you're watching. That was enough. Like that, if that came out, that's so much fucking worse than anything these people have bullshitted themselves into thinking. And yes, she was 13 or 14 years old in her description of this. If any of that is in there, that's it. That's it forever. That's it for every Trumper ever. And like that would wreck permanently the Republican Party, the Trump name. That's it. Gone. Fucking gone. And it's so awful. It's so awful. Where was Michael Wolff in 2015? Michael Wolff in 2015, I think, was in the process. Am I sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. And I'll show you why. Because I got news for you. You know how we've seen Vinny flip the fuck out on all these things, right? Hold on, I'm going to try something here. Let's see. Let's see. A thing to see here. I'm going to see if this... public. There we go. Next. I'm going to see if I can get us up on Insta with this business right here. Because I don't know why this wouldn't do, us being a dick. Paste. Okay. And then back to here. And we take this. And we go a new post. We do a new live video. And we generate a new key. And then we copy that key. And we put this key in here. And we paste that one in there. And we go, okay. And then we start everything. All right. Boink. Come on, play, you weirdo. I don't want to have to restart my... Okay, let's kick this in, see if that works. Seems to be running on there. I'm also recording the vertical so I can post it on Substack later. Also... Yeah, it's just being weird. I think the vertical plugin is the problem right now. That's I'm going to go with that. Okay, all right. Now we'll move on. Now that we've solved the unsolvable. Oh, the Benny and Tim video comments are so fucking good. Oh, that's a show in and of themselves. As a matter of fact, I don't know that CSL. I apologize if I didn't see it because there's so much stuff. Holy shit. Do we have a Tim Pool? Because he apparently. He's been wigging out at this shit. And I don't know if he's slicing his own stuff up because a lot of them are just afraid. Oh yeah, sorry CSL, you're right. I did start earlier than usual, but that's because let's check in. This is going to be the Wall Street Journal. Is probably what she's going to bring up about this because I think she was on Halpern's show earlier. If this is what she's talking about.
I went on with my pal Mark Halpern on his Next Up show this morning. We taped it before I taped my show.
Mark Halpern, he was the guy who also left whatever network he was on because he was sexually harassing people, which is why she left the network she was on. Weird. Just palling around.
Oh, wow. We're doing this.
Talking about this issue. I mean, shouldn't you have to recuse yourself if you have forgiven your sexual harasser or have brought on other sexual harassers onto your fucking show?
Live. And
I don't know if you know that Greg Kelly is covering this shit at all.
And Halpern is everywhere. He does that show and he does Two Way and he's like,
Oh, there we go. MAGA base is cracking. Trump makeup. Oh, so good. And even name checks me in it. Thank you, CSL. We'll get to that in a minute. Fuck.
Whatever. And apparently on his Two Way show today, and
Ew.
even in our interview, he raised this with me, and I knew what he was talking about. But I want to tell you what happened.
No doubt.
On Two Way, he said the following. Everyone I know believes a major newspaper, one of the top 3 newspapers in the country, is about to publish a piece about President Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone I know knows that, and people in the White House know that too. When that story drops, if it drops today, and some people think it might, it could drive the day. Then he asks the following questions to Dan Turrentine and Sean Spicer.
By the way, apparently the White House has been on the phone with the Wall Street Journal editorial board and everybody there all fucking day. Like, don't you fucking dare. Like, threatening them, scorched earth, the whole thing. But they got to know that the real power is in the information. So, I don't know how much you... if you're being threatened, you're safer releasing the whole thing, right? Oh, yeah, Fuentes, fuck that guy. But, totally freaking out about him.
Either answer them or say, in fact, we don't know. How did Trump and Jeffrey Epstein meet? I don't know, they say. Did Trump...
Oh, this was Halpern talking to Sean Spicer and somebody else, I think. So how did they meet? I don't know. That's the thing. Okay. They met in 1986, though, at least. At the latest.
Ever go to Jeffrey Epstein?
No, not Daisy Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist with the strangely Hispanic name.
Epstein's townhouse. Yes, it's not a townhouse, it's a mansion. How many times? I believe many. What occasions? One-on-one parties.
How many times did he go there? Many.
What did he go for? I don't know. Okay, he's just asking these questions. It's fine. These guys don't know. I think I know the answers to a lot of these, and I answered them on Halpern's show. So if you want to hear my answers, you can tune in to Next Up. Not that I'm some expert on Epstein. I've just been neck deep in all of these reports over the past, couple of weeks for obvious reasons. But
You know who was also neck deep? Epstein, I think. Also, let's see. I wish I could put a timer on the screen. Shit. Like an let's see. Hold on. Give me 1 second, chat. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. This will work. Okay. Let's see. I'll turn off the music on that, because I have no idea what the music is on there. Let's see, and I'll do this. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the door, shut the door, walk over, grab the guy. Break the hyoid bone. Hyoid bone. Okay. He's out. Okay. Grab the sheet, wrap it around his head, tie that part up here, make a nice knot. Tie that, pull it good tight. Yank it up like that. Put it right over there. Outside. Shut the door. Truck across the room. Up the steps. Shit, I got 10 seconds left. Anybody else you want me to choke to death? I'm just saying, I hope you guys understand the point I was trying to make there. 60 seconds missing from the original idea was that there's a minute missing from the 10-hour tape of Epstein's cell that's around the corner, right? All that kind of stuff. Turns out there was actually 3 times that amount, according to Wired. 3 minutes missing. Yeah. FBI's Jeffrey Epstein prison video had nearly 3 minutes cut out of it. So I jokingly was showing you that you can pretty much choke somebody to death in about 35 seconds if you're really strong and they were asleep, especially if you break the front of their neck so that they're suffocating even after you take your hands away. And how, if you run someplace in 10 seconds, you can run across a little, how far can you run in 10 seconds? Okay, then you do that, you got another 40 seconds to kill the person, and then you've got another 10 seconds to run away. Now, I'm being facetious. Obviously, the person could have entered that cell and hidden in there while he was asleep, or whatever, early on, and all they needed for that minute was to leave. But it turns out they had a whole 3 fucking minutes. You can run 100 yards? Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, you can run 70. So about you're 70, you're about 3 feet. That would probably be enough because all you had to do was go past that little area where they might have seen your shoulder going up the fucking steps. You had a minute to either get in there or get out. You can inject faster. That's true. That is very true. But according to that, he was, The other thing, too, is what if you're just helping him fake his death? Yeah, the hyoid break is not lethal. I know that. But what I'm saying is that if you've crushed his throat, the idea is that he can't breathe because of that is the idea. Anyways, I'm being facetious because they obviously had well more than a minute. And everybody has talked about this like, I don't know, anybody could ninja, assassinate, kill somebody in a minute. You didn't have to, motherfucker. That minute could have been you entering or you exiting. And also, now that you got 3 minutes, that's 30 seconds to enter, and 30 seconds to leave, and then 2 minutes to choke the motherfucker. No, we never saw the dead body, cremated. Right. Yeah. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes cut out of the non-edited video and all that kind of stuff. So you can see why, unlike the poor homeless man who happened to look like Jeffrey Epstein, this story is not going to die. So
I can tell you, I don't know why we're afraid to say it's the Wall Street Journal. Maybe that will turn out to be untrue, but I've been told by multiple sources that the Journal's working on a piece on Trump and Epstein. And guys, there's no question in my mind that there's going to be a lot there because they knew each other for 15 years. They were actually close friends for 15 years.
Yeah, and it would take at least 16 years to figure out that guy was a pedophile. I mean, you might even wake up to it, when you were giving the interview where you were saying, he really likes him on the younger side. Hey, wait a second.
Prior to Epstein's troubles. And
what a bunch of assholes.
I'm sure they did spend a lot of...
Whoa. Sorry, prior to what?
15 years prior to Epstein's troubles.
Sorry, are his troubles getting arrested for the fact that he was a fucking pedophile? Not, it's troubling that he fucking was? Jesus Christ, woman.
And I'm sure they did spend a lot of time together.
We have video.
But what does that tell us? He spent...
That at the very least, he is the shittiest judge of character in the history of the world. Therefore, if he says Putin's a good guy, or Xi Jinping's like his best friend, or Kim Jong-un seems like he's sharp as a tack or whatever, maybe, dipshit, maybe take that with a grain of fucking salt, you absolute asshole.
A lot of time with a lot of luminaries, and they weren't all pedophiles, right? It's like a lot of them, some of them were women. It was the Dalai Lama was over at Epstein's house. Michael Wolff just told Vicky Ward that a couple of days ago, and we could go on. So it's not.
Yeah. For the big gatherings. Yeah. For the big parties that he used as cover to get his way into high society. Trump was over there when it was just him and a bunch of chicks.
It doesn't make Trump look bad, or it doesn't incriminate him.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't care if the Dalai Lama went over there once because some dude associated with Harvard was throwing a smart people party, and it was in New York, and they brought him by, and his handlers brought him over. Holy shit! Like the dude, one of the people in the Dalai Lama's fucking entourage could have been in it with Epstein, and the Dalai Lama's just going place to place. It's when you go back again and again and again.
Anyway, that he was friends with the guy. He's already admitted that.
No. He did until he didn't. I barely knew him. I wasn't a fan. Right? Remember that?
The question is, are you going to produce evidence that Trump took advantage of an underage girl? Now, if...
Okay. Evidence besides Katie Johnson's deposition and her interview on camera and her civil case against him, it depends on whether you would call that evidence. I would, but I doubt they would. Also, on top of that, no, I don't need evidence that Trump had sex with somebody who is under the age of 18, because two things could possibly be happening here. One, Epstein found a 16-year-old who looks 19 and convinced Trump that she was, and he's got that on tape. So Trump, because he likes him older, was looped into this, and Epstein had leverage on him, and that's why he helped him fake his death in 2019, so he could escape and live on a different island, whatever the fuck, until this is all over, or until Trump passes away, or whatever the shit, right? Or until his facial reconstructive surgery heals, and then he's back in New York, with a fucking, curly Q mustache going, some people mistakenly call me Jeff, but I'm not a Jeff. I favor this old man, but the nose, if you'll notice, and the chin, also the cheekbones, very different. So no, I don't need to believe that. And it was also where Jeffrey Epstein would like train and control these girls and turn them basically into submissive sex slaves. Right? That was a reality. And there were certain people that weren't interested in the underage girls. They were fine with them being 18, but Jeffrey had trained them to behave.
They're there, then we're talking a scandal. But honestly, if somebody's got
No. We're talking a crime of moral turpitude. We're not talking about a scandal. The scandal is he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 fucking years, according to you, and 25 actually, and he had no idea. That's a fucking scandal.
got that proof, we would have seen it by now, would we not?
Yeah.
No. You know why? Because when they raided the properties where all the video and shit that they would have had on Trump, was taken in, Trump was fucking president, and Bill Barr was the head of the DOJ. And Bill Barr's father gave Epstein his first fucking job at a girls' school, you fucking moron. It's gone. And if it's not gone, it's hidden somewhere, and finding it's going to be a bitch. Like somebody snuck a copy and shoveled it somewhere, and we're not going to get it until, somebody, deathbed confession or something. The evidence was gathered while Trump was president last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. Fuck all three of you. What the fuck is the matter with you? The raids happened when Trump was president. When the head of the DOJ was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, when Steve Bannon had been advising Jeffrey Epstein. There's hardly anybody around Trump that he was close to that wasn't somebody like Rex Tillerson or something that was picked by other Republicans. Anybody that Trump picked personally is either implicated in or directly connected to the cover-up of the Epstein stuff.
The Biden administration had access to all of these files.
No. They have they have the files, but only the stuff that's left over after the Trump fucking purge. And the evidence you do have is the fucking witnesses. And a bunch of them are kicking off.
At least the Biden Justice Department did, whether or not the president or any of his people looked at it. The possibility that this information, this damning, incriminating information that would have...
Nope. Oh, no. No, I got news for you. Technically speaking, you I guess in theory, you could be friends with a pedophile and never face criminal charges. I guess maybe somebody could charge you with not reporting a crime you knew of if you saw it happen, which is very weird because I don't know that anybody has ever suggested that Trump was in the room while these massages happened, although it is entirely possible. But proving it would be really fucking difficult, especially with the other guy in the room dead and very possibly the girl in the room dead. It's not criminal to be friends with a pedophile. Or Trump had been in jail a long fucking time ago and we wouldn't have gone through this. So no. And the girls that he may have been fucking that, he's on video fucking or whatever, might be they might be unable to identify them and therefore they cannot prove that they are underage because they were Eastern European girls that were brought over and then sent back and nobody knows who the fuck they are. And they can't chase it down because those girls are either, have been trafficked themselves and are afraid to talk or are fucking dead too. So no, they don't have evidence of a crime, just horrible, immoral behavior, which, by the way, will still be enough.
Devastated Donald Trump's future prospects as a politician, or perhaps even brought him under criminal suspicion. The likelihood that that would not have already come out years ago is unbelievably low.
Nope. Sorry, stupid. Doesn't work that way. Fuck you. They had, like, when they would go after him for the crimes they had direct evidence of, namely him being a fraud in business and lying to banks and the IRS at the same fucking time about the same fucking property, pretending some of his buildings had 10 stories they did not have. Material, obvious, criminal, like criminally liable behavior. Like, that's cut and dry. And again, if there was evidence that he engaged in this stuff, it is highly probable that since he was president at the time, that all this evidence was scooped up in the first fucking place. And that, by the way, Alex Acosta was his labor secretary. Like, that motherfucker didn't know where shit was buried.
Just can't imagine it. We've seen leaks of absolutely everything else. We've seen legal trials that have been completely prosecuted on much thinner, less
No, you haven't.
sensational ground.
No, you haven't. And by the way, you can't try somebody as a sensation, dumb fuck.
We
was
would have
accused
seen
of
this
rape.
already. So that doesn't seem to be what's hidden here or obscured anyways.
Right. E. Jean Carroll accused him of rape.
Yes, and the judge in that case, looking at the merits of the case, said that he could be defined as a rapist, that he was adjudicated a rapist by the findings in that civil trial. Yes, according to that judge, using the evidence they had, including the fact that she potentially had a dress with his DNA on it, that led to the judge saying, yes, you can call him a rapist legally.
Which was a completely bullshit allegation.
Always a champion for other women who've been through similar things that she's been through. Thank you, Megyn Kelly.
I don't believe one word that E. Jean Carroll said. But Trump is on camera with the, you can grab him by the P word and they let you get away with it when you're a celebrity. So it's like the fact that Trump might have had a handsy 40s and 50s.
Jesus fucking Christ. A handsy 40s and 50s? Bitch, he was friends with that dude in the 80s.
Or even earlier than that. I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. Yes, you do know. He's on tape saying you can grab him by the pussy, do whatever you want, which is a scarier phrase than grab him by the pussy, by the way. You do realize that, right? You do realize the do whatever you want part is actually way worse than the grab him by the pussy part. That's the handsy part, dumbass. The do whatever you want part gets really fucking scary really fucking fast.
It's not going to come as
Especially when you have security watching the goddamn door.
a huge shock, Matt, but it's if there were proof that he had a thing for underaged girls, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, if he rapes adult women or 18-year-olds, thanks, Meg. God damn.
Don't think we'd know that by now?
I think we would know.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because it seems like, from the evidence around the Katie Johnson stuff, that he tried it because he was around Epstein and either was blitzed on fucking amphetamines, which he liked to do, tried it a few times and decided he just liked women with big tits and went another direction. Or he just couldn't find another girl that looked as much like Ivanka, rather.
Know that. I think the potential political damage of this story, and let's keep in mind the Wall Street Journal was not alone, but they were ahead of the pack mostly in writing about the Biden White House Operation Bubble Wrap cover-up for months and years. They did.
Wait,
really
is that
good
a
work.
real term, or are you just saying that? Because I love that.
No, that was the term. That was the term among both the Journal and the New York Times reporting about the
I must have
handlers of
forgotten that.
Joe Biden.
That's awesome.
We talked about it on this show. They used Operation Bubble Wrap to describe the Dr. Jill Biden kind of initiative. And maybe we'll even talk about that later on in the episode. Who knows? But so anyways, Wall Street Journal does good reporting, period.
Period. So when this comes out, Megyn Kelly, read it and then go, by the way, this is with all the information they were able to gather. There's more information out there, not less. They're not going to make anything up. They're not going to put anything in that they can't corroborate through 2 or at least 3 sources because of the heaviness of this fucking story. So if they're guaranteed there is shit that's true that they cannot corroborate through other sources because Virginia Giuffre is fucking dead.
But right now, I think the fact of the matter about the politics of this is that Trump is facing a political challenge, the likes of which he hasn't really seen in a good while, which is that some people in his base are like, I don't know, dude. I don't like how you're handling this, or
I don't know, dude. Like, bogus.
How your administration is handling this. And at a time when there's
your administration. Asshole, his administration is trying to do cleanup. Then he gets on Truth Social and starts going, fuck MAGA. If you guys can't back me on this Epstein stuff, which is boring, eat my ass. That's what he's saying to his own followers. The administration? Are you drunk?
a lot of people who are more of the independent bent among people in media, the conservative media, podcasts and Substack, who
independent bent. Is he Benny Johnson? Is that a slight against Benny Johnson?
were dissatisfied with the level of disclosure so far in Epstein-related information from the Justice Department, having the story drop to remind you of what we already know on the record, is that he does have a relationship, as does a lot of people, including several people that all three of us know have like been to Epstein's island.
Sorry, what?
Including several people that all three of us know have like been to Epstein's island.
One more time.
Including several people that all three of us know have like been to Epstein's island.
What? Why the fuck are any of us listening to you then? Jesus Christ. What are the odds that three people talking about this issue all happen to know or co-know multiple people who've not just been to Epstein's house, but to the fucking island? Who? Say who?
And or have had interactions with him, scientists and people like that.
What are you smiling about, asshole? He just outed you as knowing somebody who's been to the island.
But the timing of that information.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe there's a delay. Now it's starting to catch on. He's like, what?
At a time when there's these struggles between Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino.
Yes, there's struggles. It's a struggle. There is. There's a struggle going on between Bongholio and Bondi the Blonde. When will it end? I don't know. But I'll tell you so.
And when there are people who haven't gone full Charlie Kirk, in that they haven't gotten a call.
Never go full Charlie Kirk, man. Never.
From the president and said,
You went full Charlie Kirk, man. Never go full Charlie Kirk.
okay, I'll stop talking about it. People are still talking about it on the right.
Well, Charlie is too.
Yeah, he dropped that in about an hour.
He did. He had that one day of like, I'm not doing it, and then the next 2 days his shows have been heavily.
Good on
Epstein.
Charlie, which is not something that I say.
Good on Charlie. They jumped down his fucking throat. Is it his like shitter feed blew up
Every single day. But Trump just went out and called those people on the right and within MAGA who are talking about it still, he called them a bunch of losers. He said he's lost
Bad
respect
people who
for
are
them.
weaklings.
Weaklings, and that they're.
Yeah, that means you, Megan. That means you. Not just Charlie Kirk, not just other people. You. He was speaking specifically about you, Megan. Megan Kelly, loser, weakling. That's what Trump was talking about. Because she's been talking about it. She's one of the people.
Working for the fake news, and that this is all like a fake news plot or a liberal democratic plot that you fell for. It's a hoax and etc. It's going to be really interesting against that backdrop to see.
Really interesting. Yeah. How do you? I'm curious. Real quick, just it's just a question. But have you asked the person that you all three know who went to the fucking island what they think about it? Why don't you have one of them on? That's a good idea. Why the fuck is Megyn Kelly talking to these two assholes? Why don't you bring on the guy that you know who went to the island? Who was it? Ask him about it. What's the layout like? What were the parties like? Did you ever see Trump there? You can be his witness. You'll be his alibi.
What those people do. You have just been insulted by the president. I don't know, Megan, if you know this, but sometimes Donald Trump insults people in the media and on the right.
It's a day ending in Y.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's usually not you guys, though. That's what's different this time.
I mean, look, I will say for the record, my advice to all those people who are on the right is you just keep doing your thing. Like you can't run a show that.
You're right. The best advice Megyn Kelly has ever given: just ignore Donald Trump.
Way a journalistic outfit. You really can't run that way. President Trump will get mad at any journalist who is doing their job, and I don't. Forget the fake news. They got their own issues. But I mean, honest reporters who actually like Trump and are fair to Trump. And you just, it's part of being a journalist. You are.
No. When you call everybody fake news that you don't like and anybody good that you agree with all of a sudden, that's not a standard. That's just an insult. And you have been insulted. Be insulted, dipshit.
Are disliked more than you're liked. And that's just the way it goes if you're doing your job right.
Okay. You're not. Holy shit. The fact that these three assholes would admit that they know people that have been on the island, not just on the plane. Because I don't even think Clinton went to the island insofar as I know. Maybe he did. Right? I know he borrowed his plane. He went to Africa and back, and that was where Kevin Spacey rode with him and all that kind of shit. Still, don't care. If Clinton participated in that shit, fuck him. I'll find another Democrat who can balance the budget. It's a team sport. I don't give a shit. Right? You can literally, if anybody, Noam Chomsky, Jesus Christ. When Noam Chomsky was asked about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a linguist, the man is a linguist. Now, he's a linguist who doesn't speak any other languages, which is fucking weird. But Noam Chomsky's answer when he was asked about his relationship, his financial relationship, by the way, with Jeffrey Epstein, his answer was, none of your business. He's a linguist. He understands probably more than anyone the power of words, and his answer is none of your business. Fuck that guy. No. If anybody has a responsibility for a very verbose explanation, it's fucking Noam Chomsky. Jesus Christ. I mean, he's obviously not now, but then. Somebody in the chat just said, Virginia Jeffrey said that Clinton didn't do anything. Here's the thing. I have to say that Clinton may not have had sexual relations with underage women. Obviously, he liked his women on the voluminous side as well, it would seem, from what we know of his extramarital affairs. That said, I still think you're guilty if you were around Jeffrey Epstein, if you knew what he was up to at all. Honestly, if you knew he was training these girls and he was keeping them and he was, like holding their passport when they were traveling and doing all this awful shit, just because they turned 18 or 19 and they were around him doesn't mean they hadn't been they've been raped because you can't have sex with a girl that's under 18. It's rape unless you're within the Romeo and Juliet zone where you were, I don't know, whatever it is, 21 to 17, 20 to 16, whatever the 4-year window, usually somewhere in that window, maybe. But if you're their age and you're having sex with someone who's under 18, it's rape. They can't consent, especially if they've been procured by someone else, flown to a location, they don't have their passport or a way to get away. You can't have sex with a slave because they can't leave. It's always rape, no matter what. Sorry. That's how it works. Fuck you. did Bill Cosby go to the island. He didn't have to. He had he went to Lewd Island. He would have he just carried lewds and dosed them. Yeah. So yeah, most states it's 3 years. Yeah, that's about right. But the point is, if you knew he was engaged in that shit, then then you're just as guilty, even if the women that you were having sex with were over the age of 18. If you knew he had control of them or had molested them and groomed them for this, right? I still think, fuck you. Oh, he's still alive? He's 97? Okay, well then, yes, he should be made to answer questions. Fuck him. I don't care if you're 97. I don't get this idea, like fucking Bill Cosby. I shouldn't go to, you should go to jail because you're too old to go to jail and you're too old to rape anybody anymore? Please. Playboy Mansion was the local Epstein Island? No, everybody at the Playboy Mansion was of age. That was kind of the point. There were, insofar as I know, there were never even any allegations of anybody underage. And there's a distinct difference. I got to tell you, adults are capable of making decisions. If you could send an 18-year-old boy off to war, you could send an 18-year-old girl to a party on her own and do whatever the fuck she wants. And if she doesn't like it, that's the cost of being an adult. We all live there. It's very different if you're a child. And I will not, blur those lines at all. That's not good. That is morally reprehensible. We have that standard for a reason. I would argue, by the way, that your brain's not done cooking until you're 22, 25. So you really, maturity. It did? They did drop the story? Oh, boy. Now I got to get a... Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him body letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Verifying this device. There we go. Hold on one second. Here's the drop. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him bawdy letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. The leather-bound book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says the letter is a fake thing. It's a fake thing. Okay. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Donald Trump. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album. Now, they were still friends at this point. That's the story, right? Hold on, I'm going to blow this up. Close it. Let's see. Pages from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed the pages. It's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. I guess not. Or it may be exactly why you're not seeing it. The president's past relationship with Epstein is at a sensitive moment. Sure. The Justice Department documents, the so-called Epstein files, or who or what is in them, are at the center of a storm consuming the Trump administration. On Wednesday, after angry comments about how the files were a hoax created by Democrats, Trump lashed out at his own supporters for refusing to let the matter go. The letter, bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Yipes! Another wonderful secret. That Michael Wolff, guess what, asshole? You got a new title for your next book. In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter on drawing the picture. "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else." Allegations that Epstein had been sexually abusing girls became public in 2006. He was arrested later that year. By the way, anybody pretending being around him as long as Trump did, not knowing that, is just fucking bullshit. All right. Epstein died in 2019 in jail, we think, After he was arrested a second time and charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy, Justice Department officials didn't respond to requests for comment or address questions about whether the Trump page or other pages of the birthday album were part of the agency's recent document review. FBI declined to comment. So Bongholio, Patel aren't rushing out to defend the president, say, hey, this wasn't in there. The existence of the album and the contents of the birthday pictures haven't been previously reported. The album had poems, photos, greetings from business people, academics, Epstein's former girlfriends, and childhood pals, according to the documents reviewed by the journal People familiar with them. Among those who submitted letters were billionaire Les Wexner, attorney Alan Dershowitz. The album also contained a letter from now-deceased Harvard economist, one of Epstein's report cards from Mark Twain Junior High School in Brooklyn, and a note from a former assistant that included an acrostic with Jeffrey Epstein's name. Jeffrey, oh Jeffrey, everyone loves you. Fun in the sun, fun just for fun. Remember, don't forget me soon. Epstein, you rock. You are the best. Epstein was Wexner's movie money manager at the time. Yeah, he gave him power of attorney. The longtime leader of Victoria's Secret wrote a short message that said, I want to get you what you want, so here it is. After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breast. Wexner declined to comment through a spokesman. Wexner's spokesman previously told the Journal that the retail mogul severed all ties with Epstein in 2007 and never spoke with him again. Dershowitz's letter included a mock-up of a Vanity Unfair magazine cover with mock headlines such as, who was Jack the Ripper? Who was it Jeffrey Epstein? Always defending him. He joked that he had convinced the magazine to change the focus of an article from Epstein to Bill Clinton. Dershowitz, who represented Epstein after his first arrest, said, it's been a long time and I don't recall the content of what I may have written. Oh. The book was put together by a New York City bookbinder, Herbert Weitz. According to people who were involved in the process, Weitz, who died in 2020, listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third-person voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, Jeffrey, nor will I, since I know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Jeffrey enjoys his social life, right? But this, I got to tell you, that's not as bad as the actual quote that he gave about Epstein liking his social life. Like this bit. He turned 50. Epstein was already wealthy from managing Wexner's fortune, was socializing with Trump, Clinton, and other powerful people at his Manhattan townhouse, Palm Beach, Florida home, and private Caribbean island. A spokesman for Clinton referred to a 2019 statement that former President Clinton had cut off ties more than a decade before Epstein's second arrest and didn't know about Epstein's alleged crimes. Now, again, hinky as all this shit is. So 2006, right? So 1996 would be when, Clinton stopped talking to him, right? And I know he went to the Clinton White House a few times. I want to know what the last time he went to the White House was, right? Because it might have been that the FBI or somebody came to him and went, oh, hey, by the way. That's entirely possible. Not ruling that out. But I will say it was, obviously his behavior continued and got worse after that point, and Trump still hung out with him. So I would be curious about that date, wouldn't you? I would like to know the last time he went to the White House and what was the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay. And again, if it turns out Clinton was engaged in this shit, fuck him. I don't care. All right. Epstein and Trump spent time together in the 90s and early 2000s, were photographed at social events, including Maxwell and Melania Trump when she was Melania Knaus. A 1992 tape from NBC Archives shows them partying at Mar-a-Lago. We saw that. Trump is seen pulling a woman toward him, patting her behind. Trump, along with others, including Clinton, also appeared several times on flight logs. A 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein quoted Trump, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy." 2002. 2002. He's known him since at that point, known him since 1986. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. He's known him since 1986. When I was in high school, when I was a sophomore, they became friends. No relation. I wasn't the impetus, obviously. I couldn't hook up anybody, much less billionaires. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. Really? Who says that? And many of them are on the younger side of 18. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. It's this last line always struck me as like one of those lines they write for lifestyles and the rich and famous. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. You know what I mean? Both men said that they subsequently had a falling out. Trump has said their friendship ended before Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008, served time in a Florida jail and a registered sex offender. When Epstein was arrested again in 2019, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him. Trump said in Oval Office, I wasn't a fan of his. This I can tell you. Now, the story that's in the book that says that they had a falling out about a girl at Mar-a-Lago, that Trump says that Epstein hit on somebody there and Trump threw him out for, and again, they recruited Virginia Giuffre from the spa there, so he didn't give a shit about the help. He didn't give a shit about the local girls. It was that it was a member's daughter that was allegedly this. So even the story that's a lie is a fucking terrible lie. It doesn't help his case at all. But it was about a real estate deal, period. And it was before that. So the idea was like, no, I didn't stop being friends with him about a real estate deal, a long time before that. I waited a few more years and then got pissed because he hit on a young girl at Mar-a-Lago when he didn't give a shit about the girls that were going there from the high school. They were like 3 times a day. This motherfucker didn't know. Whatever. Okay. So Trump spokeswoman told the Journal in 2023 that Trump had banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club at some point in the past without elaborating, right? Because they all know that story about the girl, that there is a lie. And I'm sure after the conviction, or after he pleaded guilty, banned him from Mar-a-Lago. They still hung out. They still flew on the planes together. You can't come to the club anymore, dude. I can't let you in there. People, he banned him from the club. Yeah. By what? Calling him up and saying, dude, just don't come to the club anymore. Yeah. No, we'll hang out in Paris. Maxwell, a British socialite, was convicted in 2021 of helping, who was president when she was convicted? Weird. Okay. Of helping Epstein's sex trafficking, sentenced to 20 years in prison. Hey, who was it a Democrat or a Republican who was in charge when she got 20 years in fucking prison for being a part of this? Weird. Maxwell didn't respond to a letter requesting an interview sent to her in prison. Arthur Aidala, an attorney representing Maxwell in her appeal, said at this point she's focused on her case before the Supreme Court of the United States. Right. This is his whole like...
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking... We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things... And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yeah, and largely thanks to you, asshole. The FBI's Epstein files. Okay, Epstein's association with Trump's and many powerful people have been well documented. There remain questions about what the FBI possesses. I don't normally read articles like this on the show, but this just broke. This just dropped, so forgive me, because I'm reading this with you. Have been well documented. There remain questions about what the FBI possesses about Epstein and his well-connected friends. In 2019, the FBI confiscated evidence from Epstein's properties in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New York. Right. In what year? 2019. The FBI confiscated evidence. Who was president when the evidence was confiscated? What happened? What's the chain of custody on that evidence? Huh? If anything's missing, wouldn't the first suspicion be about who the fuck actually was running things when the evidence was gathered? Yeah? All right. Earlier Tuesday, after the Journal sought comment from the president about the letter, Trump told reporters at the White House that he believes some Epstein files were made up. by former Presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden and former FBI Director James Comey. He said that releasing any more Epstein files would be up to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. He also said in the same interview, by the way, and I don't know why nobody points this out, that all the credible evidence has been released. Right? Specifically, he says she should release all the credible stuff, but it's all the credible stuff has been released, meaning there's nothing else to release. Like it's so fucking lame. All right, anyways, allegations that bureaucrats covered up Epstein's connections with participants in his trafficking scheme were fanned by people now in top roles in the Trump administration, including FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino. By the way, I know Bongholio is watching this instead of working, which is probably better for America. And I know Kash Patel will probably see this, and I'll probably end up with my own file. But for the record, next time you talk to Trump, ask him a question for me. I have a question, and if I was in the press corps, I would ask this question. Why would the Democrats make up evidence about him and not release it? Why would they fake evidence and not put it out there? Why would they concoct all this stuff and then not release it about him? How the fuck does that make any sense? Also, every time Trump says this is like the Steele dossier, everybody starts to think, oh, holy shit, the Steele dossier must be true too. Asshole. Oh, boy. Oh, wait. Okay, so if I may, don't play anything. Thank you. What is that? Stop. Okay, hold on. Let's see. In June 2024, Trump was asked in a Fox News interview whether he would release the Epstein files. We saw this. He goes, yeah, I would. But he also expressed some reservations. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world, but I think I would. There's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. Mm-hmm. Soon after she was confirmed as Attorney General, Bondi said she was preparing to release these. The phase one, we saw this stuff. She made all these people look like absolute assholes, which, too late. Bondi initially blamed the FBI's New York office for withholding information, promised to release the remaining documents, which apparently there aren't any, so she owes them an apology. After redacting the victims' names, Patel also said there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. So basically, if there's nothing else to show, then you guys should grovel at the feet of SDNY and I guess apologize to everybody you maligned. Yeah, I agree. Grace, the Steele dossier is true. But it's like the alignment of it isn't creating the distance, between the ideas that he thinks it is. Okay, there will be no cover-ups. No, they tasked hundreds of FBI employees to review the materials and prepare them for release. Okay, no, they did not. I don't believe you. There is no fucking way. Why would you? First of all, how do you even task hundreds of people to look at shit that doesn't exist? Explain that to me. The issue took on new life in June when Elon Musk, in a public feud with Trump, said truth will come out. He later deleted the message. On July 7th, the Justice Department backtracked on Bondi's pledge to release more Epstein files. The Justice Department said that after an exhaustive review, it just exhausted. It had no incriminating client list or additional documents that warrant public disclosure. That's very telling. Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee demanded this week that Republican Chairman Jim Jordan hold hearings on the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein files, and if necessary, subpoena Bondi, Patel, and Bongholio. I agree. They all need to sit down and explain how there just isn't a there. At a cabinet meeting on July 8th, Trump criticized a reporter for asking about Epstein. Are you still talking about this guy? This is unbelievable. You want to waste the time? By the way, in the same interview, he also talked about the fucking gold leafing he wanted to put on the ceiling and told another apocryphal bullshit story or two. Like, he rambled several times. Like, dude, if that's not wasting time, this certainly isn't. She just dropped the fucking memo on Sunday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday. The same day, Musk wrote, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release The Epstein files. Okay, this is the article that dropped today. That's the whole of it. Okay. So they've seen this letter that he wrote to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday, where he signed Donald where the woman's bush would be. Fucking adorable. Well, let me show you something. All right. If you could follow up with this. By the way, hit that like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Context. Oh, before I jump into this, can I pick this little thing apart real quick? Let's just throw this in there because CSL threw this on there for me. Man pardoned by Trump concerned about president. He's wearing makeup on his hands, so things are just getting weird. You think that's the weird part? You fucking dumbass. So the title of this, MAGA base is cracking. Trump makeup hand sparks health conspiracy. They just diagnosed him with fucking shit in your veins syndrome. Oh, wait. This is... I don't know.
Wearing makeup on his...
Hold on.
Donald Trump was seen wearing makeup on his hands in the...
Which, you know what that means. That's not true. I wear makeup occasionally on stage.
Media is having a field day for it. I don't know exactly why.
With it? Field day for it? Do you have a field day for it? It's like a celebration? Let's have a field day. I'll bring you bring the big band, and I'll wear a hoop skirt and...
He was apparently had a hand bruise, but Owen Schroyer discussed Donald Trump's calling out...
Sorry, does everybody that used to work at fucking InfoWars now do their show from their fucking car? There is a God.
Out of his own supporters and own base, saying that Trump's...
By the way, wait, hold on. Fuck, stop, wait. Tim Pool is citing Mediaite? Is there... I don't even know how to fucking... Tim Pool goes to Mediaite for source material. Yes, Trump has chronic venous insufficiency, which I gotta tell you, sounds like your wiener doesn't work. but right, that's why he's got he's got cankles now.
Age is going to become a big story now as he's, 79 years old. And of course, Democrats are going to look for anything they can go after.
Democrats? Owen Schroyer's not a fucking Democrat. What are you talking about?
I'm going to say on top of this is, ladies and gentlemen, the base is cracking. And I think it's Donald Trump's fault. Many people have suggested that without Trump, there is no base. There is no MAGA. There is no populism. And I disagree.
Well, you kind of have to, don't you? I mean, also, nobody says populism doesn't exist. Authoritarian assholes all over the world have used populism for a very long time. That's not going to go away. But maggots, yeah, they fold in behind Trump. They're not lining up to follow Ted Cruz or JD fucking Vance.
I think that's the populist movement is just that. It's got its roots in certain precepts. Truth matters. Accountability matters. Trump is just...
Immigrants are to blame for everything. Women should stay home. Gays are trying to turn people gay with Jewish space lasers. Yeah, all that normal populist shit.
The avatar. You see, what people in media don't understand, and they've never understood...
They don't understand. Mainly it's because of how he talks.
...is that they think Trump rallied these forces together.
He didn't?
Incorrect.
I see. Right-leaning independents and anti-immigrant groups and Tea Party people and QAnon people were all, even though they voted different ways and at cross purposes a lot of times before, then they didn't vote together until Trump came along. He had nothing to do with it.
What happened was these forces came to be and elected Donald Trump as the avatar of their anger.
As the avatar of their anger. That is just so glorious.
That's why Trump is unable to...
to piss normally. That's why he has a catheter.
Break
Sorry.
the Epstein story. Perhaps he drank his own Kool-Aid. I don't know. No, I like Trump. I think he's the best president of my lifetime. It's kind of fun.
Especially, well, of all the presidents that were friends with Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, sure.
Right? The reality TV real estate mogul did a better job than the career politicians. Who'd have thought?
No, he didn't. He hasn't passed an infrastructure act. He hasn't. He's doubling the funding for a lot of the programs that Biden put in place. He's adding $250 billion to spending just this year alone on top of the CR. He's ultimately not cutting shit. They cut $9 billion in their clawback, which is dick. This is $1 trillion military budget, and they're patting themselves on the back for clawing back $9 billion. I mean, what do you, did they just line up? I was about to say line up to have Trump slap in the face of their dick, but they'd have to get so close to his thighs, they wouldn't. I don't even know that it's physically possible.
But I do think that Trump's efforts to say, I don't want your support, it's going to blow up in his face with Owen Schroyer saying Trump's approval rating is going to drop to its lowest point, perhaps. Here's the story.
Here's the story on Mediaite.
And then we'll talk about this makeup on his hand. What's that all about? Owen Schroyer, the InfoWars host, who was pardoned by President Trump after being sentenced to jail for his involvement in the J6 Capitol riots. Mind you, he was outside bullhorning at a permitted rally. By now, you've likely seen President Trump's latest Truth Social post basically saying the Epstein story is a hoax. And those that are still talking about it are, from yesterday's comments, bad people. And now his past supporters. Can I just shout out the joke we made? Can I play this for you? I'm doing it because I think it just goes to show how literally stupid all of these liberals are. Actually, I think I just have it on YouTube. It's probably easier if I go to YouTube.
Yeah, probably go there. That's probably the best place.
YouTube.com/TimCastNews. We made a joke.
Yes. Look at your own channel. Play your own videos on your own show. Brilliant.
I did a little bit yesterday for fun. Let me see if I can. It's in the shorts.
Yeah, you probably can't find it. It's probably,
section, and
you don't have anybody there that can look for you.
Here we go. Here you go. I mean, maybe you saw it, but I'm going to play this for you anyway. Where's the sound? There you go.
Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. Never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is.
If you want.
So it's a joke.
Is it, though?
Literally, I knocked the Trump shoes, they're right there, off.
Yeah, you put them right back. So it wasn't a joke.
As a gag, because Trump was like, I don't want you as supporters. There's a very bad people who want this. And so I knocked him down and yelled "Porqué," of course, for...
Yeah, we just saw what you did. It's the part about it being a joke, therefore funny, that we were... Yeah, I think a lot of us were just confused about.
Those that don't know, it means for what? Or technically...
Oh, boy.
Means why? And
you're right. It makes the joke better when you explain the foreign word you threw in as the punchline.
And, it is loaded with comments from liberals being like,
Yo.
You finally broke out of the Trump cult, Tim. And I'm like, oh, my God. Guys, it's a joke. These people are nuts.
Yeah, they would be nuts to think that you've finally broken out of the cult with a joke about that. Obviously, you put the shoes back and you went back to gargling his balls.
So why I bring that up is...
You're an idiot. You have no sense of humor. You're a twerp.
My friends, there's no reality where these NPC wackaloons are forming a coalition with us. However, Donald Trump is not needed for whatever this coalition may turn into.
Great. Yes. Thanks. So Tim Pool is prepping MAGA for the jettisoning of Trump, which will either happen because he's in the Epstein files or he's dying.
There are sane, rational people who know what sarcasm is and have, intuition. You know what's really freaky to me? Well, it's debatable whether that's sarcasm or irony.
But I don't care because it's so lame.
Figured something out. These liberal types take everything super literally. I think it's bots. You know, they accuse you of being a bot, but I think many of them are actually bots.
Most of the interactions on X are bots.
And I figured this out because the more I use a variety of these large language model AI systems, the more it becomes apparent that
you don't know what you're talking about.
it's like they're so frustratingly stupid. They often
garbage in, garbage out.
tell you things unrelated to what you asked. So I'll give you an example.
Okay, please do. And I'm sure all of us will be shocked you didn't get the response you were looking for.
If I said to you,
If you said to me,
want to get a really strong fan that can lift a skateboard up, what do you imagine? Okay.
well, I would immediately imagine the ad that used to be in the back of the Boy Scout magazine I used to read as a kid, where you could turn an old-fashioned vacuum cleaner into like a dual fan hoverboard thing. Or I would immediately think of the quadcopter thing the other guy has been using that got cited because he technically flew through an intersection. And if he'd have just stayed on one street, he'd been fine. But when he crossed an intersection, that's when he broke the law. That's what I would think of.
Well, the average sane, rational human just easily understands that concept. Large fan, skateboard goes over it, the fan blows the skateboard up.
No, that's not at all. That's not at all what I would think. I didn't think that at all. That sounds like one of those indoor skydiving things, you dickhead. So I'm sorry. So do you have to have fans all over the ground? No. No, I'm actually amazed because that's like the last thing. No. Do you have any idea how big the skateboard would have to be? Would it have to be made of? Would it have to have like little fucking mini umbrellas all around it? Would it what? I think we all figured out why you can't get what you're asking for from AI, because how you're asking the question, it's giving you, wow, Jesus Christ. Because you're expecting idiocy and you're not getting it?
Okay.
No, not okay.
So I go into ChatGPT and I said, how...
Sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. You go to ChatGPT and
How powerful a fan would I need to lift a skateboard? And it wrote seriously like 2,000 words about an air compression tank being fired from an air cannon. And I was like, what are you talking about? It didn't understand. It was not intuitive. It wrote some ridiculous...
It's not supposed to be. It can't be intuitive, stupid. The last thing you want it to be is intuitive. You're asking it a scientific question, effectively. Literally, weight versus thrust. Dumbass.
Thing about PSI pressure to launch a board in the air, and I'm like, I didn't ask that. Now that's silly, but it's my point is
it is silly. It's I beg your pardon. It's not silly. I like silly things. It's fucking dumb.
These people online commenting about all this stuff, they act like they can't comprehend basic humor and jokes.
Or, and you'll forgive me for floating this just a second, or you're so unfunny and lack charm to such a degree that their response to it is dry hatred. Just kind of like they're not invested in the response you want. They're just kind of in fuck you mode because you're such a dipshit.
Because they're probably not people.
Yes, only robots would not laugh out loud at your porquet joke.
Or maybe they're foreigners. Why?
You know what? He almost got out of that one without being a bigot, and I managed to pull it out at the last second.
Is Trump putting makeup on his very normal hand bruise? Writes Margaret Hartman.
Well, I mean, obviously, he's metrosexual. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, Trump's got a big old splotch of makeup on his hand. And here you go. The tweets were going wild. Before departing to Pittsburgh, Trump spoke with TV reporters, and people zoomed in on his hand. Looks like he's got a thick dose of foundation on his hand. A conspiracy, they call it. Here's the clip. Whatever. Trump had a large bruise on his hand in the same...
What? Hold on. Who called it a conspiracy? A conspiracy to conceal the bruise?
Spot back in February. And according to the New Republic, it was spotted again in April and June. But when the Daily Beast asked Carolyn Levitt if there's a medical reason for the fresh mark, she insisted once again that it's a normal, nay, historic and admirable handshaking injury.
Admirable. As in something you could admire, not an admiral. In which case, the bruise on his hand cannot command a naval vessel.
President Trump is a man of the people, and he meets more Americans and shakes their hands on a daily basis than any other president in history.
That explains the warts.
His commitment is unwavering, and he proves that every single day. Levitt provided the same explanation several months back in February. Trump used it too when a Time interviewer asked about his hand bruise, saying it's from shaking hands with thousands of people. I mean, that makes sense. What I don't know. Did he bang his hand on the door, perhaps, several times?
Yes. Yeah. It couldn't possibly be from all the handshaking, but banging his hand on a door several times as the president of the United States, probably the person in America who opens the fewest number of doors in the world.
This is, to be sure, a much cooler explanation than the president is a 79-year-old man, and sometimes old people get random bruises, scabs, and swollen ankles.
Yes, they do. Sometimes it's random, and we usually don't care until they're the president. And it could also mean that they've got acute brain farting, and they have the nuclear codes.
And despite what you may read on social media, these injuries are not necessarily proof that Trump is simultaneously suffering from syphilis, congestive heart failure, and a variety of other likely fatal ailments.
Right, they're not necessarily proof. They might be proof, but they're not necessarily.
But the official explanation is still weird, and that's even more true now than Trump is experimenting with concealer like a 13-year-old after her first visit to Sephora. The hand makeup was clearly visible and poorly blended. I mean,
have you seen his face?
Guys, the bigger conspiracy theory is why didn't they get the proper tone and blend it? You take the little things and you put them on your skin. I got a blemish right here right now. And we used to have makeup. I just stopped caring. So if I get a blemish, pimple, or whatever, I just say, oh, whatever. I don't care. I got crooked teeth. I got no hair. You deal with it, huh? But we had a bunch of different colors.
Yes, it's curious to me why your hat doesn't blend into your face.
So that when people would come on the show, they could use concealer or whatever. The bigger scandal is that Trump's makeup person.
You saw a DYOM at Timpool, at Timcast? Bring your own makeup? BYOM?
Chose the wrong skin tone. Maybe it's true that, Trump routinely does cover.
Or maybe that's his right skin tone, but then he puts the orange on afterwards. And all right.
Bruises or whatever. Anyway, I digress.
All right. Anyways, just so you know, chat room, he was diagnosed today with shit in the blood disorder. Let's see if I can bring up his actual. Let's see. Try to find because the announcement. Yeah, hold on. It should be like Caroline Levitt announces. I'll find it. Yeah. Oops. Hold on. Dink. I'll find it. Levitt announces Trump health diagnosis. Yeah, here you go.
On another note,
out of nowhere, by the way, her cross is back and she's buttoned up so she's not showing cleavage. So I think that is the.
I know that many in the media have been.
Oh, sorry. Is it what's in the staff chat? Sorry. Got it. Instagram was talking to Substack. That's probably what happened.
Speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also
They were speculating.
swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president
The effort of transparency. In the effort of transparency.
wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today.
The president continues to be the strongest, most powerful, biggest dicked president in the history of the world. But he decided to take on some human diseases just so he could be more like you sucks.
In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs.
Did he? Is anybody noticing, besides the fact that my pants hike up oddly? While I was installing my second catheter of the day, I noticed that my ankles are spilling out over my shoes. Anybody else?
In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution,
He noticed it. He noticed it.
this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House Medical Unit.
Uh-huh.
The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency.
Chronic venous insufficiency. He's just too Mars. That's why he can't get along with women, because women are from Venus. And he's got classic Mars oleopathy.
A benign and common condition.
Do you notice the little tongue flick? I don't want to get too much into the body language stuff, but she had dry mouth during this whole fucking thing. And she kept doing this folded tongue lip thing, which fucking makes my mouth dry just doing it.
Chronic venous
Watch.
insufficiency, a benign and common condition.
See that little a benign and common. Sorry, I vomited into my mouth a little bit every time I say benign and common about the president, because there's nothing common about him.
Particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis.
No evidence whatsoever, until there is. But that we've got him in fucking compression socks because when he flies, because it's gonna happen.
Or arterial disease.
Well, then they didn't check very well, did they?
Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive
A complete blood count. They're like, how much blood does he have? We're still counting, sir.
metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echo.
Oh, see it again? See it again? Besides the fact she has to bullshit all the time, that's her tell. The folded tongue lip lick, that thing. It's so fucking. Watch.
Biomarkers. All results were within normal limits.
There it is. All results were within normal limits. She's stopping herself from vomiting into her own mouth. I'm lying with Jesus hanging around my neck.
Echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function.
So they did an EKG on him and didn't report it. Okay.
No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified.
No signs of heart failure at that time? So he wasn't currently having a heart attack while Jesus Christ.
Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost the entire back of his hand. Please continue. Minor. Yes, there's not a giant bulging hematoma, but just a deep fucking purple bruise that never turns yellow.
This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen.
Yeah, which only is something that's recommended, like taking aspirin as part of that regimen is only recommended for people of his age if they've already had a heart attack, a stroke, or had a stent put in. Period. When did he have his stroke? Is he having one now? Is that why you guys are bum rushing all this shit through and making him sign stuff so fast? Did the thing that put the big bullshit bill over the line was a whisper campaign that Trump is dying, and if you don't get it done, you're not going to get his signature legislation through, and then he's going to die, and it's going to be on you fuckers.
This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy,
which he should not be on.
and the president remains in excellent health, which I think...
No. If you're bruising that easily and you've got fucking ankles swollen like that and you're telling stories about how your uncle taught Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, when he died before anybody knew who the Unabomber fucking was, I'm just saying that's not excellent health. I'm just saying there are problems here.
I think all of you witness on a daily basis.
No, they don't. No. Because he doesn't show up until like 11 or noon, and you only see him when he's gacked out on fucking stimulants, and then they don't see him again. And he's been golfing a lot less. That's weird.
Here. So the president wanted me to share that note with all of you.
I'm sure he did. He couldn't wait to have people know how physically weak he is. It's a big part of his character that he wants people to know. He wants to share, his limitations with the world. It's just always been that thing. Holy fuck. And I showed this before, but it deserves to come back in this particular instance. The guidelines have shifted on aspirin for people for cardiac health as a therapy. It's still recommended for people who've already had a heart attack, stroke, or a stent, and is a secondary prevention, and the benefits outweigh the risks. The risks are very high, actually. That's why they stopped telling me if it was benign, they'd have gone, take it if you want to. It may or may not help. But it's got real risks if you haven't already had a fucking stroke or a heart attack or a stent put in. No longer recommended generally for, because the risks are high. People over 60 with no history of cardiovascular disease, which apparently she says that's who he is. People at low risk for heart attack or stroke, not Trump. This is due to the increased risk of bleeding, including GI bleeds and brain hemorrhages. The only time this risk is worth it is if you've already had a fucking heart attack. Yeah, it's a blood thinner. He's right-handed, but he bruised on his left hand. I think he's got a bruise in this picture on his right hand. That's why they're using it. That's why they're selling it. But he gets bruises all over the time. So all over the place. So it's fucking weird. And then this case by case if you're 40 to 59. Because even if your blood's thinner, you're going to be healthier so you can... Oh, it's fucking stupid. Oh my God. All right, now. Okay, I know I'm going to go long on this one, but I got to show you something. He wants everyone to feel sorry for him because of the Epstein files. Oh yeah, absolutely. I just got to say that do you really want to perish with all you know about Jeffrey Epstein on your conscience, Mr. President? Yes, check with your doctor before discontinuing aspirin therapy. You're right. You may be the exception, and that may be why they did it. But the standard thinking has changed. Right. So, and you can even ask your doctor about that, if that applies to you. Right? But according to what we have been told about him, yeah, and I'll show the Nick Fuentes clip. I have not yet. No. Let me show you this. So this next one, and by the way, do we have that CSL? Did I miss that in there? I've seen people referencing it, but I have not seen, and I do mean not seen. Boy. Okay, so there is a Greg Kelly. God damn. Oh, and Pat Gray. Look at that. Holy shit. All right, let me see if I can bring this down just so I can show the oh God, it's so good. The fuck, it's so good. These people are such assholes. Hold on. So I gotta say, the thumbnails on this stuff are fucking fantastic. Here's Pat Gray's. We're not gonna look at his video because fuck that guy. But this is Pat Gray, who's on the Blase with Glenn Beck. This is his thing. Now, saying weaklings on there, you'll notice that this both talks about the subject if you know, but at the same time, if you just are breezing by, and you're a pro-Trump person, you won't notice right away that you're pissed at him. You have to watch the video. Interesting. So, but check this out real quick. Let me show you something. Because this is a Glenn Beck turd polishing special.
Hello, America.
Fuck you.
First, I have to start with an apology to my
You have to stop?
guests that I just excused.
Yeah, by the way, he was going to do some sort of special about this topic, about Epstein and all this stuff, but he told his guests to just go home and he's not going to have them on. Now, either they were just staff and he was like, I want to do this by myself, or all of them, if he did have guests, were like, I'm not going to fucking back Trump on this. Are you going to try and help him out of this? Fuck this.
Because as I walked on stage tonight and I looked at the content,
It's a sound stage. Simmer.
based on something that I'm going to take you through, Donald Trump's letter today, I don't know what is true.
Based on that?
And it's weird because we all are like this, but you know, if you're just doing political calculations, it's easy to see which side you should fall on. But if you actually care and you actually care about the truth, this is one of the hardest few weeks I think I've had because I don't exactly know what's going on. I think until...
Well, for the record, Glenn never knows what's going on. This is just him being, I guess, acutely aware of it.
Today, I am not a guy that is somebody that is fine with the regular answer. Believe it or not, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Get on with it.
I mean, unless there are conspiracies, and there are conspiracies, and we know it. We know it. We've been watching them unfold for the last 15, 20 years.
No, you haven't.
But this Epstein thing does not make sense to me.
It can't. It can't. You can't allow it to make sense to you. Because once it does, you're like, oh my God, I'm an asshole. Right.
And this might be, until I get a better handle on it, might be the last time I talk about this.
I'm going to guess no.
Because what I think is going on, that may be the only response.
Maybe.
I'm going to present you with several theories, but I want to start with the president's letter, okay? Because this is crucial. You can't just ask what is happening. You have to ask why is this happening?
And how? And when? Also, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why would the president run on Epstein along with a bunch of other stuff?
Yeah, right.
Why would his administration...
Like on the idea that there's 25 million illegals in the country and somehow they can only scrounge up like a few thousand, which is basically in the same numbers that every other president has, and except so he's now having to resort to like kicking out 4-year-olds with fucking cancer.
And say, it's sitting right here on my desk. You know, we're going through it, thousands of names, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
Why?
Blah. Why?
And then all of a sudden say, there's nothing there.
I know. It's almost as if,
That was just bullshit, Joel.
perhaps.
It's so poorly handled, and the president seems tone deaf, and I don't believe the president is tone deaf.
Oh, hello there. You don't? Well, guess what?
I've never seen a guy with a better political gut. I've never seen a guy with a better gut, quite honestly. Look at what he's doing to the country.
What's he doing? You mean blowing the budget up, adding to the deficit, increasing military spending, not being able to resolve the war, as he said in a phone call months and months later? Get the fuck out of here.
Look at how he's transforming the world.
into us and them.
The guy does not suck in the gut department.
You're right. He does not suck in his gut. That's right. I don't think he can, actually. I don't think he has the abdominal muscles to actually do it.
So why is this happening? Let me take you to
Because he and Jeffrey Epstein were friends for 25 years.
the letter. What's going
What is that? Where does the stick come from? What is this? What's going on? Why do you have a stick? What are you doing? What is this? Professor Whiplash? What the fuck are you doing?
on with my boys and in some cases gals? They're going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. Okay, I could say that he's maybe talking, maybe I'm one of his boys, I guess. I don't know.
No, actually, Glenn, you're one of his bitches. Congratulations.
Because I called for her resignation. We're on one team, Team MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. Okay, I agree with him on that. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world. I believe that. And selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. This is where I start to go, wait a minute. You used Jeffrey.
You used to be best friends with the fucker for a quarter century. Also, if you'll notice, Glenn has makeup on, obviously, for this. But his neck is very red around here, whatever, and it gets redder because this is apparently where he is blushing under the foundation that he has spread on his face.
Epstein as a political tool, and that's going to be very important to remember here in a minute.
By the way, that's how you know I'm not wearing makeup, because when I laugh, my whole face turns red.
For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and a loser and criminals of the Biden administration? Wait a minute.
Is that bullshit? I smell bullshit. You guys smell that? I smell it as well. It smells like bullshit. I've never been on a farm before, but I think, yes, that is bullshit.
That's new.
It is new. It's fucking crazy is what it is.
I've never heard him say that before.
Because it's nuts.
Who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, laptop from hell, and more. Got it? They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier.
By the way, this is the second time Trump has said something along these lines. And can I say for the record, remember when I told you that this is the part of the letter that is mind-blowing and will fuck everything up? It isn't him even calling it a hoax or any of that shit. It's the fact that he's now saying that it was cooked up by his enemies, which is, I pointed out, like other people were pointing at, some of the attacks on other, I was like, this is the part that is going to blow up in his face worse than anything else. This idea, this brand new, out of fucking nowhere idea that this was all made up by his enemies when the fucker was friends with Epstein. He did the article saying he's a fun guy to be with and he likes chicks on the younger side and all that shit. Like, it is so insane. Even Glenn Beck can't deal with it.
That they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files?
Because they were busy actually prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell, and a lot of the evidence was about the stuff from the civil suits, and I guess some of the stuff was gathered while Trump was president and just is nowhere to be found.
That's a good question. If he's in it,
why wasn't he in it after the raid on Epstein's properties? Weird.
Why wouldn't they have released it? Why? They would have just at least released that part of it. Why wouldn't they?
No.
Because he's not in it.
Yes, he is. Asshole, he's in the flight logs multiple times. Epstein flew on fucking Trump's plane multiple times. He wished Ghislaine Maxwell well from the fucking press podium. You tit.
I firmly believe he's not in it. I'm going to get to that theory here in just a second. Okay. Why wouldn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? He's right. They haven't given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. I have. I'm satisfied. No matter how much success we've had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. But quite frankly, I'm fine. It's enough for me. We're about to achieve more in 6 months.
Yes, by the way, he's already swallowed the JFK RFK stuff entirely.
Than any administration has achieved in over 100 years.
Blah, blah,
He's
blah,
right.
blah, blah.
And
No,
we have
he's
so
not.
much more to do. He's right. We're saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. Okay, he's right. But we do have a problem, and that is trust. And that's why this story has bothered me, because
Does it bother? How can it not bother you?
you can't truly restore America without restoring her trust.
No, you can't. You can't. She's gotta have your trust. And she does not have our trust right now. And you gotta do something about that.
Okay. The left is imploding. He's right. Cash
I'm fine.
Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue. Yes, the rigged and stolen election of 2020 and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking into nothing but the old same radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein.
Hold on. Radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Huh?
Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. They tried to do the same in 2024. That's why she's looking in as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. He's right. Let's keep it
No, he's not.
that way. Let's not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Half of that absolutely makes total sense to me.
The other half, not so much.
But what tipped me off, and look, I don't know if any of this is right. I mean, I don't know who's gonna like this segment.
No. I'm enjoying myself so far.
I don't know if any of this is right, but I have a pretty good track.
At least it's never stopped you from doing a show not knowing whether you're right or not. It must be so liberating. I can't imagine what that's like. Can you imagine just going, I don't know. I don't know if anything I'm saying is true or worthwhile or has any value whatsoever.
Record of seeing things and going, something's not right. And then continuing to pull at the thread. And every thread that I've pulled, I'm not satisfied with until today. Listen to what he kept saying here. He's right about how America and the job he's doing. He's right about that. But he says for years, Epstein.
Well, then why is he punting on the fucking tariffs all the time? If he's right about that, why is he fucking dicking with the markets and all that kind of stuff? Or why the markets have just reacted by going, he's just dicking with us. He's going to keep punting these fucking tariffs. On any real country, they're going to be fine. We'll have all these workarounds and carve-outs. He just won't say anything. So fuck it.
Over and over again, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and losers of crime? I've never heard him say that.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, it'd be charitable to just say he's having a stroke.
I've never heard anyone say that.
Right, because it's batshit.
No one, well, except for the left, no one really discredited those files. No one.
When did the left discredit the files? For real. Like, when did Democrats ever discredit the files? Ever? Who are these Democrats? Who are you talking about? Who have, like, put their fucking political life on the line and come out and going, I think there's nothing to these. They should just leave this man alone. What, you don't still believe, like, Dershowitz a fucking Democrat, do you? Or that he speaks for the left in some ways? Get the fuck out of here.
Everybody just wanted them released.
Right, including everybody on the left.
I thought it was pretty universal.
It is.
Now, the media, they wanted to bury it, right?
What? Since when?
Right? The left, they wanted to bury it.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
But the people wanted to know, and no one said it was written by Obama, crooked Hillary, and Comey.
Yeah, and again, if it was, why wouldn't they want it out? Why would you concoct this whole conspiracy hoax scheme and then not release it?
Okay, we have to fix the economy. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there, it would have hurt the MAGA movement. Why didn't they use it?
Well, it kind of was out. That was the point. And again, what if it's not criminal? What if it's just morally liable? You guys saw that he grabbed women by the pussy and you didn't give a fuck. They were going after him for his real crimes that he committed, not that he was adjacent to.
That's true. You know that's true.
Well, for the record, I do think that, I do think there's a chance that he was engaged in sex trafficking the time that Epstein flew on his plane in that Maximum Golf article. He said Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and an unnamed, unidentified underage girl was on the plane, that the reporter wrote about it, which means that Donald Trump was either tricked into or participated in sex trafficking a girl. Because he flew her from New York to Palm Beach. So either he helped bring her back after she was sex trafficked, or he flew her there in the first place from New York.
People would use anything. They had that sitting there for 5 years and they didn't use it. Don't believe that. That is the least believable thing I've heard.
How about the part where I mentioned that a lot of the stuff that was rounded up as far as evidence was taken, was during these raids that happened during Trump's first term, and maybe they've been looking for them these whole times. There's evidence lists of them, but we haven't seen the actual drive, what's on the drives, what's on the actual thumb drives that he had, the hard drives that they found, the CD-ROMs that they found. Thanks, Ian.
We're saving our country. We have to investigate all these things. 1 year ago, our country was dead. What is it? Not looking at the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. I want to just take you through the possibilities that I think could be happening here.
By the way, welcome to what I would like to call Straw Man Alley. See if you can pay attention to, in all of these, where he puts an addendum on them where they could be true, and then he puts something in that he feels like makes them untrue, right? Automatically. And you'll see this on each of these till he gets to the one he wants, which has no, paragraph B, subsection 3, right? You'll see what I mean.
Possibility number one, and this is what the left is saying, and some people now on his team are saying. He's in the report.
Right. That's it. Yes. He is definitely in the report. Yes. Number one. That should be all you need right there. This is it. That's enough. He's in it. That's enough.
With 15-year-olds?
Now. No. Katie Johnson was 13, 14 years old when Trump allegedly sexually assaulted her. She was cajoled, forced into giving him a hand job and then oral sex. And he abused another girl while, yelling that she was Hispanic, saying he was going to call immigration on her while slapping her and all that kind of stuff. That's in the story that Katie Johnson. She was 13, 14, so not 15-year-old. So even his straw man is an intentional lie. As a matter of fact, it might even be that all the stories about this, like he's done his research, he's read up on this, and there was a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old. Right? There's just not a 15-year-old, so that's why he chose that number. But notice, this works just fine. He's in the report. That's enough. He's in the report because he fucked girls provided to him by Jeffrey Epstein that he may have believed were over the age of 18, but were, women that were groomed by Jeffrey Epstein or paid for by Jeffrey Epstein or abused by Jeffrey Epstein. That's enough. We don't need this part. Fucko. That's enough. But you'll notice how he added this part so that you'd go, well, he doesn't like 15-year-olds, so I'll wipe that away. It's the same thing Megyn Kelly does. Okay.
Really?
Yes, really.
Do you actually believe that?
No, I don't believe he fucked a 15-year-old. I think there's a chance that he forced copulation out of a 13 or a 14-year-old. That's very possible. But the rest of this, he's absolutely in the report.
I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. 20 years ago, if, this was like, hey, he was on an island with 25-year-old models, I would be going, probably. Okay.
Hey, asshole. He had a 19-year-old he kept in an apartment that he was introduced to by Jeffrey Epstein. He was introduced to his own fucking wife, his third wife, by Jeffrey Epstein. He fucked Melania for the first time on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, dummy.
15, 16-year-olds? That's not Donald Trump. It's not Donald Trump.
Sorry, he just waits till Jeffrey's done with them, and then when they're 18 or 19, he can use them? Get out of here.
I don't believe that. Do you?
Yes, I believe he's in the files. I don't think it's specific to a 15-year-old.
I say that's no way that's true.
That's right. That's why he put 15 on there. That's why he put the 15-year-olds on there. So he could cross that out with a clear conscience in his own fucking mind. He's absolutely in this report. Period.
Second theory.
This is also, watch for the addendum on this
His friends, his donors, and the power GOP are in it.
Okay, watch how he fixes this one.
Okay, first of all, if the power GOP were in that, I'm not sure. If the power GOP were in that, also the power DNC would be in it, and he'd be all for destroying both of those.
Well, then why isn't that a subcategory all its own, fucko? Why aren't you putting the power GOP and the power DNC are in it, and he wants to control them or something like that? Why did you attach it to the one about his friends and donors? I'll tell you why. Because it's totally believable that he's doing this because he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and Alan Dershowitz was his fucking lawyer, and he was friends with him, and he knows a bunch of these assholes, and his donors are in there. So that's completely believable. So what he attaches is this whole and then he creates this, look how he's literally creating a straw man out on every category.
Okay? It makes no sense. Unless you want to say, well, he wants to use this, and I'll get to that here in a second. But let's just say he's only doing it because his friends, his donors, or the power GOP are in it.
Okay, that's not an or. The whole category is all of those people or not. You're not just crossing out the power GOP. You're saying this is either true or this isn't true. And this is two totally different categories. Again, he's doing this on purpose. Fuck you, Glenn Beck.
I don't believe that.
That's because you conflated those people to give yourself an out, you asshole.
I don't believe that. Listen to theory 3. I don't think that's true. There's no way. Let me ask you. Except for the Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, when was the last time, and Kavanaugh is different because he didn't do anything. When have you seen anybody in the administration that actually did something wrong that Donald Trump, when the heat got on them, he didn't just go, yeah, see, you got to take care of that. You're on your...
Hegseth, Bondi, right now. You're... Nutlick? I mean, Navarro? He just pulled Navarro from TV. He didn't fire the fucker. What are you talking about? I mean, Hegseth leaked attack plans that were in process. It could have gotten our soldiers fucking killed. He put them on an open signal chat group. A reporter was in that one, but he shared it on other ones as well. He had the fucking Signal app put on his computer in the fucking Pentagon. He had a landline run in there so he could have direct internet without having to go through the security there. Are you fucking stupid?
On that, okay? He's not going to take the heat for his friends if they did something wrong.
Yeah, but he'll just defend himself by defending them. What?
Think about that, just that. His friends or donors or the power GOP are in it. Do you think he'd flush down half of the MAGA movement?
For power brokers and money? He's not running again, dumbass. He's not running again. He's looking to his post-presidency, where he's going to make millions, if not billions of dollars, either through compromat, Russia style, or actual, like, deals with these fucking people. Of course not. Of course he would rather have those people close or have control over them. Fuck maggots. He doesn't need them again, even if they lose the midterms. Does he give a shit? He can blame all of his failures on the fact that Democrats took the House and the Senate, dumbass.
For friends or power brokers?
Yes, of course. The dude has a gold toilet, you dumbass.
Never.
God damn, how deluded.
Never. The man knows where his power comes from, and it's from his base. No way. Don't believe it.
What base? He's not running again. I know he likes to throw that shit around, but that's for dipshits like this. He's making deals in fucking Qatar. He's making deals in fucking Eastern Europe. What the fuck?
Now, 3 is a possibility.
Oh, by the way, can I just throw something in there? Pam Bondi used to be a lobbyist for Qatar. Can just throw that in there. Specifically for Qatar. She worked for Ballard, this lobbying group under Susie Wiles, lobbying for all kinds of shit. Private prisons, all that kind of stuff. No, yeah, all the fucking Genocide Joe crowd. Congratulations, you played yourself on multiple fucking levels. But she used to be a lobbyist for Qatar. Do you know that, Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi. You think he gives a fuck about the base? Are you insane?
I don't believe it, but it's a possibility. And that is that 2 is kind of true. His friends, donors, power, GOP. And he's using the information. For instance, let's say Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent.
All right. Let's separate agent from asshat and just understand that Glenn Beck is an asshat and doesn't know the difference.
I could see Donald Trump, who does not want regime change in Iran, think.
Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he want a regime change in Iran? I can understand why you wouldn't want to go to war to do it, but you wouldn't be against it.
That would be bad for the country and the world.
Why would regime change be bad for the country and the world? I mean, again, if they just do it on their own, not to mention us, not to mention, like, if Israel did it, just period.
World. Bibi, Benny, can I call you that? Your boy here was a Mossad agent. Now, yes, the CIA was involved, so it's going to be bad for both of us, but probably worse for you. So I'm going to keep this under wraps.
What? Sorry. So you think the worst part of this would be that Jeffrey Epstein, it wasn't that they had a fucking 25-year relationship as friends and partied together and fucked chicks together, and there are pictures of Trump getting a lap dance from God knows how old girls that are topless while he jizzed in his fucking pants and they laughed at him for it. You think that he's not interested in hiding that? He's keeping it close to the vest that Epstein was a Mossad agent because it would be embarrassing for Israel. And by the way, what if he's not an agent? What if he was an asset? Why would that be weird? You don't think we have assets all over the world that are bad people? I mean, like, how do you think an undercover drug sting works? You don't think they could roll that off? Why would they give a fuck? It's not like he hired him. If Bibi Netanyahu's, that the other people who are interested in the two-state solution, they're the people who hired Epstein. I'm against that and him. Like, what are you talking about? Why would that do anything?
But what you're going to do is not have regime change in Iran.
Sorry. So he's willing to lose half of MAGA land. He is willing to split with that so that the Ayatollah can stay in power?
If the president saw something that he felt was accomplished that would be very, very good by saying, I'm going to sit on that, I think he might do it.
What the fuck are you, what is this? This is as nuts as the whole thing. Like, Obama wrote this shit up. Sorry, he's willing to sacrifice maggots and Bongholio and all this crowd and half of his support in the right-wing media. So what? That Israel doesn't knock off the Ayatollah? Why? Why is he more invested in the Ayatollah staying in power in Iran than he is in his own supporters? Why is that mutually? Oh, this is fucking stupid. I don't get it. Like, I understand the leverage idea, blackmail against some people in power, but why that? Jesus, this is fucking dumb.
I think he might do it. But I don't think that's what happened.
Well, yes, no one does, dumbass.
I don't. Because of today's letter. Okay? I'm going to get to that now. The fourth theory is what the president is trying to say, there's nothing here.
It's not, no. He used to be saying there's nothing here. Now he's saying there is something here, but it's boring and Obama wrote it. That's not what he's saying now, stupid.
Now, this one I can believe if it's presented this way.
Okay, yes, with caveats, obviously.
It's had 1,000 fingerprints on it.
Oh, you mean like the Hunter Biden laptop story?
The chain of custody is ridiculous.
Oh, you mean like the Hunter Biden hard drive that was copied several times and reorganized by Rudy Giuliani and his pals before they doled out documents that were, I think they were called in the Washington Post, a forensic nightmare. Oh no, this is stuff that was at Jeffrey Epstein's property, was raided by Trump in the possession of the government, and there would be logs as to who had contact with it since then, if it ever made it back to FBI headquarters, which it may not have.
We don't know what's real and what's not.
Jesus Christ. Well, then, again, then that would be on the guy who was in charge when the evidence was seized.
It has been sitting around desks and in the hands of lefties, righties, power brokers, people who are guilty, people who are innocent. We don't know the chain of custody of them.
Yes, you do. Yeah, we do. Shit was seized while Trump was president. You do know it. You don't know, if anything. By the way, this isn't like the fucking video that of Epstein's, that allegedly show he wasn't killed with 3 minutes fucking missing. And it changes aspect ratio multiple times. It's from 2 separate files that were edited together in Adobe Premiere. All the metadata is fucking gone. You'd have to even prove. I don't even believe. How about this? I don't even believe that's from the same fucking night. I don't even believe it's from the whole video's from the same night at all. Not even that night that he died, but any night. Like, they could be stitched together from 2 different evenings.
This thing, we can't prove anything. Thus, there's nothing in there.
Because you can't prove it. There's nothing in there because there's a lot in there, and you won't believe it if you see it. So
nothing we can prove. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
That I could believe.
Well, I think that's more what you're hoping for.
That one I could believe.
So if there's nothing there, there's also nothing against Bill Clinton. There's nothing against Bill Gates. There's nothing against Prince Andrew. There's nothing against fucking Alan Dershowitz. There's nothing against fucking Stephen Hawking and the fucking Dalai Lama. or any other rando rich fucker or Les Wexner. Because it's not just Trump. If there's nothing in there that's actionable, that means there's nothing actionable against the rest of them either.
But it doesn't explain today's letter. Laura Trump said something earlier this week. She said, I just want to tell you there's more information that's going to come out. Okay, that's when I thought, okay, idea number 4, that's true. There's nothing there because it's got 1,000 fingerprints on it, and there's nothing you can prove because I don't believe 1, 2, or 3. I don't. Doesn't make sense to me.
None of this does, dipshit. Sorry.
And then he came out with this. Now, it could be that he is so frustrated because the guy has accomplished miracles in 6 months. The guy.
Wait, sorry. Was it a miracle that the Ukraine war hasn't ended? It's a miracle that no ceasefire is held in Israel and Gaza. It's a miracle that the Houthis are now sinking fucking commercial ships again, sinking them with multiple drone attacks. It's a miracle that these files are being, are, first of all, they were going to be all released and now they're not because there's nothing in there.
I should have yet another Nobel.
CBS is saying that Colbert is going to end in May of 2026. So they've got another year of their pickup. Late Show franchise will end its historic run in May 2026 at the end of the broadcast season. That would be next year. That's what they're saying. A lot can happen between now and then, though, kids.
Prize.
Interestingly enough, it will end leading into the midterms. Poor Stephen. Believe me, he'll be just fine. The thing is that Stephen Colbert could probably take his whole team, pay them out of pocket, and make his show make more money online than it does on the network. These days.
And this one earned. He should have that from some of the stuff that he's done. He's accomplished amazing things. And I could see myself really tired, really burned out, working 24 hours a day, flying all over the world. Could you keep his schedule?
Yes. Yes, I could.
Like, I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I just...
Yes, you are.
Want to present a fair look. Could you keep his schedule?
Yes, I could.
I know if I have a schedule half that way, I get testy.
Yeah, but you're a pussy.
So that could explain this. It could explain him going, can you knock it off? Look what we're doing. There's nothing there.
Sorry, then why wouldn't he do that about any topic that they bring up a lot? They ask him all the time about tariffs at this point. Why wouldn't you flip out about this? This is personal, dipshit.
It works. But this bothers me. All of this part, we're one team, MAGA, talk of the world, selfish people are trying to hurt it over a guy who never dies. Why are we giving, okay, it's Epstein over and over again. That theory works. To me, what I just said to you, okay, he's tired. He's grumpy. He wants people to pay attention to the things that are important because there's...
If he's tired and grumpy, then stop typing.
There's nothing in it. Theory number 4. Until you get here, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals, the Biden administration, who conned the world with the Russia, 51 intelligence agent, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, you read this already, asshole. Stop filling time.
That they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hand. The next line is the key. If there was something in there, why didn't they use it against me before? They could have easily done it and controlled exactly how it was done, could have tubed the last election that fast. That fast.
Because they were going after him for stuff they had genuine evidence of that had a perfect chain of evidence, like his fraud.
Can I give you theory 5?
Yeah, this is going to be as dumb as the rest of it.
He is suddenly, miraculously in the file.
Okay, yeah, this is, they added him to it on the way out the door.
Just like he, had that link with his bank and the Russian bank.
No, that wasn't his bank and the Russian bank. That was a server in the basement of Trump Towers and Alpha Bank. That's what that was. And again, straw man. Nobody said that. Nobody said his bank and the Russian bank were tied, Alpha Bank, right? Notice how you create a lie that isn't obviously true because it's not what anybody said.
Or he was on camera in Russia with hookers, or
nobody said he was on camera in Russia with hookers. There's the idea that there's a pee-pee tape is the idea there. It wasn't that he was on camera with hookers. It's that he was with these hookers and one of them pissed on the bed that Obama had slept in because he's a petty fuck. And the idea was that there's a chance that Russia filmed it because there's cameras everywhere. Not that he was on camera with hookers. He's been on camera with hookers before. I got news for you. A lot of the ladies in that video of him and Epstein were professionals.
or just like he was, in the Steele dossier, doing all those things.
Yes, which is included in the PP tape idea. And yes, those a bunch of those things are true. Absolutely.
Just like he was bribing Ukraine. Just like he was
What, he was what? He was bribing Ukraine? No, he wasn't. He was extorting Ukraine. Notice the fucking... like, this isn't an accident. Glenn is stupid, but he knows how to manipulate people. He was extorting Ukraine, not bribing them.
Starting a war, all of the things that they have...
Sorry, and what?
Said. Just like he was falsifying documents...
Hold on real quick. Hold on, this is...
Just like he was bribing Ukraine.
Extorting.
Just like he was starting a war.
I think he means Iran, that he was starting a war with Iran, which he has. You don't think they're done, do you? You don't think they're lying in wait and picking their battles? Because they obviously don't think they can win an overt, war of attrition against the United States. I mean, they did put a $40 million bounty on his head.
All of the things that they have said, just like he was falsifying documents to get rich, in business, just like he was in Bergdorf Goodman raping a woman.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Come on.
Yeah, he was. He was found literally the judge said it's completely reasonable to call him a rapist. He's an adjudicated rapist. This is a civil trial, but you could call it rape, what he did. And we find that the preponderance evidence shows that he did exactly that. Also, asshole, he said, you can grab him by the pussy, you can do whatever you want. Oh, Poop Picker Upper, thank you so much.
Now, all of those things were said about him.
And the only ones that aren't true are the ones that you modified the language on to turn into lies specifically, you lazy fuck.
And who said them? The radical left.
No, the Washington Free Beacon is the one who paid for the Steele dossier initially.
And written in many cases by Obama, Hillary, Comey, Brennan, the loser criminal of the Biden administration.
Yes, this makes no fucking sense.
Let me take you back to theory 4. There's nothing there. Why is there nothing there? Because we don't know the chain of custody. Fingerprints all over it, right? Fingerprints everywhere.
Yes, largely Trump's.
We know it's true, what's not true.
I don't know, release it all and we'll check it against his location. Was he in West Palm Beach when it says he wasn't? Was he had he flown down to Epstein Island during this period of time when we know for a fact he was photographed at one of his golf courses. You could work that shit out, couldn't you? Unless you can't.
That's theory 4. Theory 5 is these sons of bitches. They knew I was campaigning. One of my campaign promises was to release the files. Somebody went in, the same people went in, and made all of this stuff point to me.
And didn't release it.
As if I'm some kingpin in it.
I see. And they could have leaked it before you took office.
Why is it the left never wanted this released?
Again, we all did.
Until he said, I'm not going to release it.
Well, arguably, do you remember any of the talk around when Epstein was arrested and when he died and Alex Acosta stepping down?
Why is Congress, the Democrats in Congress, all of a sudden saying, you've got to release this?
Well, I don't know. I guess because because he's in it and they know it and they put it there and it's all going to be AI and fake and he won't have any way. They managed to create a situation where the evidence is all in gaps where he can't say where he was because where he was worse than being with Epstein. That's what it is. Yeah. So they put it like, you were flying with Jeffrey Epstein at this point. He's like, no, I wasn't. Well, then where were you? I was strangling a kid in the Czech Republic. God damn it. It's the only way I can come. Like that's Glenn Beck's solution to this whole thing.
You've got to release. This is impeachable if he doesn't release it. Really?
Yeah. Yes, really.
More in a minute.
More on a minute. That's what this show should be called. Okay, by the way, he goes into a bunch of other shit, and it's just his gibber shit. But I wanted to show you those 5, versions of reality that he was pushing. Now, we're going to jump through the last bits because I went over time, and I hope that's okay. But I missed you guys last week a bunch of times, so I'm going to make up for it by picking up a few things for the next half hour. If you can hang with me, that would be lovely. Hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. Now, real quick, Benny Johnson. White House makes shock announcement on Trump's health after bruising photos go viral. Ew. I don't know why he uses these AI-generated photos of Trump for this. He uses AI a lot, but it's Trump holding up a phone that has his own bruised hand on it, and the idea is that Trump's showing you the truth, I guess is what he's trying to do. Now, this is WAP or whatever.
At a considerable deal of news that was broken in that press conference. I want to start with the top line news that I think is quite important and is something that everybody should care about, which is President Trump's health.
Yes, everyone does care about it. Most of us are looking at our watch.
This is a brand new piece of breaking news that was just announced at the press conference itself. And I wasn't planning on anybody answering or asking this question. Caroline Leavitt just was out with it in her open. But this is what the internet has been speculating for quite a while.
Right. That's nobody's business, and it's boring and whatever, Epstein stuff. But this swollen ankles, this is what, MAGA, how dare you ask about, what in the world? How dare you ask about Epstein? I think a bird just hit my window. How dare you ask about Epstein when the president's ankles are swelling?
This is the photos of Trump's ankles, President Trump's ankles, and President Trump's hand. And you can see there some type of concealment of the hand itself, right? That is not the natural skin tone.
No, not strictly speaking. It is not the natural skin tone.
And these were the images that have been going viral and saying, well, is something medically wrong with...
Yeah, it might be. I blame the Diet Coke.
President Trump.
Which he drinks off the floor.
ladies and gentlemen, we now have obviously the answer to that speculation. Concerned markings appear across Trump's body. Experts reveal what they think they might be, and this is, of course, the close-up. This was at a press conference that was 1 day ago. You could see President Trump was concealing something on his hand, raised a circular area of skin. Trump's team seemed eager to hide. This was what the reporting was, and this was what the high definition.
Well, I don't know how excited they were about it, but they seemed committed to hiding it, I would say. Yes, IV fluids, I would agree. It's more than likely that's what he had.
Video was here. You can see the hand. There it is. Being zoomed in on some type of bruising or concealment there.
Something along those lines. I'm going with both. I'm going with bruising with some concealment.
The president was using to cover his hand.
Or to cover the bruise on his hand. You can still see his hand.
Okay, what is this?
Disgusting? Oh, you mean what material is it? I see.
Carolyn Levitt announcing at the beginning of the news conference, President Trump has been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency following reports of swelling in the president's legs, per Carolyn Levitt.
CVI.
Something serious.
Nah.
This is how it should be handled. Don't.
That's right. Just blow it out. What the fuck? You guys boring.
Cover this up. An echocardiogram, which is a mapping of the heart, a very sophisticated mapping of the heart.
Very sophisticated. You've never heard of it before. They don't allow normal people to have them.
Was performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified.
No, they just did. They didn't identify. They didn't mark them down on the chart. Jesus Christ. Should I put anything? Why at this point?
This is the major top-line breaking news, as people have been speculating about this for quite a while.
Have they? I know you've been talking about it like nuts. Anyway, so that's the lead story on Benny. Then let's hop over to this. Where is it? This business. Okay, here it is. This is Nutless over here. Gutfeld. Epstein is the Democrats' only hope.
The Epstein saga has led to some startling revelations.
Yes, that you guys are able to bullshit yourselves on an Olympic level.
For example, we just uncovered the only black man on Earth with no musical talent.
Epstein died by suicide. Believe that, and you must be blind. You've been telling us you released the file, but where are they?
All right, that's a good modulation there. It's a good chord choice for the melody. It's not on the nose.
Dreamsicle on a summer night in a folding chair.
Oh, man. That guitar is now demanding assisted suicide. Hank Johnson makes Mike Huckabee look like Eddie Van Halen. Now, Hank's a Democrat, and like many today, they're now demanding answers on Epstein.
Yeah, do you remember when Epstein died? Do you remember when Epstein was arrested? Do you remember when his properties were raided? We demanded that shit then, too. Thank you,
But you gotta ask, where were they when we were the only ones demanding answers over the years?
You weren't. You guys were just insisting that there was a cabal of, like, adrenochrome drinking baby milkshake freaks at Comet Ping Pong in the basement, which, of course, it has no basement, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, their guy.
Check, what did she say? Chronic venous insufficiency. I have questions. Okay, let's take a look at this. This would be, hold on, drink. Chronic venous insufficiency is a condition where veins, particularly in the legs, have difficulty returning blood to the heart, leading to blood pooling and various symptoms. It's a common condition affecting millions and often worsens with age. What causes CVI? CVI occurs when the valves within the veins, which normally prevent backflow of the blood, become damaged or weakened. This can be caused by several factors, including deep vein thrombosis, prolonged standing or sitting, age. Other factors, obesity, lack of exercise, smoking, and a family history of CVI can also contribute. Symptoms can range from mild to severe and may include leg pain, aching, and heaviness, swelling in the legs and ankles, varicose veins, skin changes, discoloration, often reddish brown, or perhaps burnt orange, itching, dryness, or thickening of the skin, particularly around the ankles, leg ulcers, open sores that develop on the legs. Treatment. Lifestyle changes, regular exercise, well, that ship has sailed. Elevation of the legs, I'm sure he'll put his feet up more. Wearing compression stockings can help improve circulation, reduce swelling, which he's already doing. Medication, some cases they can reduce the swelling. Surgical and minimally invasive procedures, these may be considered for severe cases or when other treatments are not sufficient. While CVI can be a chronic condition, early diagnosis and treatment can help manage symptoms and prevent things like ulcers that improve the quality of life. Yeah, no surprise at all.
Was in power. So what did they do with all those big scandals? Well, they mock them, and not just Epstein, the Russian collusion hoax, the COVID
wasn't a hoax.
Lab leak, the Biden.
The idea that it was a lab leak wasn't the question. The question was it intentional or not? That was the question that was pushed back. Was it created in the lab to be released as a bioweapon, which was the inference that was put through all these things. Most people were like pretty comfortable with, and I would argue what really happened was Trump cut all the security funding for the Wuhan lab when he got in office, but he allowed gain of function to continue. And the weakness of security there had people at that lab taking animals out of the lab that had just been recently killed because they were used in experiments, and they sold them at the wet market for money on the side. And the chances are that an animal got out, parts of it, or people got exposed to freshly killed animals or live animals that were meant to be killed, and they snuck them out anyways and taken to the wet market. That would be my guess. And in the wet market, somebody caught it and it spread to humans there. So the question isn't an either or.
Cover up. Each one was a huge scandal and a huge cover up, and the Dems treated them the way women treat Star Wars fans.
Just real quick, both with Russia, quote unquote, COVID and the Biden stuff, there were no kids being fucked. It's an important distinction, I think. Yeah. In the auto pen scandal, no kids were fucked. Nobody in it was aware that kids were being fucked, looked the other way as kids were being fucked. But in the Epstein situation, kids were being fucked. We know this because a woman is in jail for it.
With zero interest. But now that Trump's in power, they see an opening exploiting the MAGA rift around Epstein.
Exploiting the MAGA rift? Are you kidding? Trump is exploiting the rift. He's creating the rift.
And I get it. They have no policies. Epstein is the only hope they have.
Well, we do have policies. We passed a lot of them. And by the way, I would like to say that a few of them were folded into the big bullshit bill, including the child tax credit, which was made permanent at $2,500 because even Republicans recognized its necessity. You're welcome.
Before this, all they had was supporting men who shave their nut sacks in women's locker rooms.
There's going to be a follow-up attempt at a joke here.
Now, Trump just had the greatest...
Nope. It would have been too easy.
Start to a presidency in history. I haven't seen anything come out of the gate this fast since Joy Behar won the Kentucky Derby.
Apparently... The women of The View are old and naggy and overweight or something. And this is a constant running thing on this show. Meanwhile, Greg is a tiny man.
Always works. I don't know. Yet we're supposed to focus entirely on Epstein.
No, you're not. But you're supposed to not change your tune just to protect Trump.
Sure, if a list of organized child rapists at high levels exists, that is huge. But remember, while you were caring about that, the Dems weren't.
Yeah, we were. That, by the way, this is the straw man that you're going to see everywhere. The idea that Dems didn't care about this until now, which is just bullshit. A lot of us were like, dude, I all last year, one of the primary points I made that you have to have, to be a MAGA, you have to have Trump derangement syndrome, is that you have to be deranged to vote for a dude who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 25 fucking years. It wasn't about the fact that we weren't on it enough. It was amazing how much you guys actively memory hold this shit.
Political issue, they do. And sure, the DOJ isn't perfect. If it were, they'd call it the Department of Sidney Sweeney. But it's miles ahead of what we had last time.
Based on what?
The DOD isn't leaking or leaving billions of military gear behind in foreign countries. The FBI is no longer doing domestic terror investigations on parents and Catholics.
The FBI targeted ... Catholics and parents ... according to whistleblower reports. You mean like pro-life Catholics and parents who were part of a particular group, according to whistleblower reports? Also, and according to whistleblower reports, like, again, the unnamed right-wing overreaction squad that we're supposed to ignore when it's people on the left or people, Democrats. Right.
And they moved pornography out of the children's library to where it really belongs, the Clinton Library. But
again, this is them trying to tag Clinton to this. Again, if he's part of it, I give a shit. But I will say that it is amazing how they, even in, I think, the wording of this, they are trying to keep Trump and Epstein separated in their sentence structure almost the entire time.
But now people whisper that Trump's...
Ooh, sorry. My bad. 1 second. That's... I should... Eesh. That's a rough one.
Vulnerable. But look, if someone flooded your...
Ooh, wait. Is that an edit?
People whisper that Trump's vulnerable. But look, if someone flooded your basement...
Yeah, they edited it. It's a fairly decent edit, but they edited it.
...for 4 years, you can't expect it to be bone dry overnight.
Why not? If the water was a hoax...
And I get it. You can't just ignore this.
I think you have to, right? Trump told you to, and you got to suck it, Greg.
Because that's what the Dems would do.
How so?
And that's not Trump. He doesn't run from chaos. He
literally is telling people to stop talking about it and calling his own supporters weak and bad for talking about it.
Embraces it. I would say Trump is as cool as a cucumber, but why bring Ana Navarro's sex life into this?
Why is that a thing? Is that a reference to anything, or is it simply that a cucumber is phallic and often will? I mean, I guess I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I'm sure that Greg himself has sat on many a cucumber and enjoyed it. So I think maybe it's a bonding exercise.
We get that there are details that we don't know about.
And you're not going to.
It could be that releasing them would put the country in danger.
Or Trump's legacy in danger. Or his friends and donors in danger.
Or perhaps this information could be used to nail some really bad people. And once we do that, then the files can come out.
Right. That's the leverage part. The trust the plan.
Maybe it's not about protecting people, but this country. We trust Trump on everything else, and he's delivered. Why would he suddenly depart from that?
Because he's in it, and because he was friends with the guy for a quarter century, and the guy was a convicted pedophile, and his groomer-in-chief is in jail for 20 years, and he wished her well because he knew her around Palm Beach.
Given his record, we can trust he's making the right call.
Why? Oh, you mean, because because Epstein got arrested on his watch, the evidence was gathered, and you don't have any idea where it is, and apparently Pam Bondi can't find it anywhere, and he died while Trump was president, and the evidence that shows he hung himself is cut and dry, clear as day, and he doesn't even know the guy.
And I get it. We invested a lot in this.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody expects consistency from you. It's like expecting punchlines.
But we were also led astray. We were told that there was a client list.
Yes, by Pam Bondi.
But take it from Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer. He says Epstein never had one.
And he's on it.
So is he right? It's a valid point. Who keeps a list of the crimes that they commit?
A blackmailer? I mean, wouldn't a blackmailer create a list of what they have on everybody and where to find the stuff? And I mean, especially if you had multiple people that you were leveraging.
However, I did.
Also, it maybe you just put it as a client list, and it doesn't really show that they're like the crimes are in code, like a mafia ledger.
See a list floating around on the dark web, and sadly, most of the names were redacted because they might be innocent, but some were not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trump's name's on there a bunch and not redacted.
Let's take a look at the list. Real. I don't know if it's real.
This is part of their regular shit that they do, where he makes fun of other Fox hosts as a running gag about them being, morally disgusting. Which, by the way, I don't know that they come off as jokes to the rest of us because they seem true.
The point is, if Trump's not releasing something now, it's because he knows more than we do.
Yeah, about his involvement.
Which is kind of how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to have somebody who is best friends with Jeffrey Epstein in the Oval Office.
When he bombed Iran, he didn't put it out on a Google Calendar invite.
No, that's Hegseth's job.
Because if Trump's going to tell us, then he's also telling Iran. So this isn't a town.
Right. He also didn't put it in Signal either, because that would be too easy for them to find out.
Hall. It's not even a pure democracy. It's a constitutional republic, meaning
this is bullshit.
We elect Trump to make the tough calls. We don't do the job he does.
Well, if we elected Biden and Obama to do the same fucking thing, then why didn't you shut the fuck up while they were president?
I would say that's why he gets paid the big bucks, but he's doing it for nothing.
No. He's making deals for himself using the presidency as leverage. He's going to be richer because of his time in office.
And he took a bullet for us.
No, he didn't. Cory Comparator took a bullet. Trump got a piece of glass from his teleprompter that nicked his fucking ear.
He's earned our trust. And
No, he hasn't. No. Why? Again, a maggot tried to shoot him, dummy.
Well, I get the urgency about this matter.
It's weird that you're showing this picture because there's really nothing wrong with his ear.
When it comes to national interest, maybe trust that Trump is doing what you hired him to do.
No, not going to.
He's got access to intel we'll never see, and right now it's too dangerous.
Yes, we'll never see. That I believe.
Dangerous, perhaps, to give away. But until Trump tells us what's what, why help the Dems undermine all these big wins?
Because A, they're not big wins, and B, that's your burden, not ours. And by the way, that message from Greg Gutfeld right there was not for Democrats or people on our side of the aisle. Certainly not. The jokes weren't, because we require humor in these in our comedy. But this was aimed strictly at maggots who are like rats leaving the sinking ship, and they're not going to be able to fix it. It's a full court press. Don't get me wrong. There was one more thing. Oh yeah, here you go. So last thing, Charlie Kirk said, this is the last time I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm done. And then he wasn't done. Why not? Well, because the polls came out and he got a bunch of messages in his chat that were like, fuck you, dude, I'm done with you. And about face.
Let your patriotic values guide how you empower
Monterey-minded
investor, the interlocutor. The young men and the Gen Z audience that I represent, they are flaming mad right now about this.
Yeah, they are. At you.
I've said that.
Yeah, you said that up until you're like, I'm going to trust the president. Whatever he says is fine. Just like Greg Gutfeld. It's time to fall in line, kids. Just kneel down and unhinge your jaw like a baby fucking pelican. And let's do this.
It's been a week and a half, and they're watching this thing unfold. And
more than a week and a half. It's been decades.
They want to go after the deep state of government.
Except now that Trump is the deep state, according to Alex Jones and these guys.
I could tell you that amongst the younger voters that we represent, that we know better than anybody else, they want action on this. Action, action, action.
I want action tonight. Satisfaction all night. Woo! Sorry, the first Poison album is the greatest punk album of the 80s. Feel free to at me.
We say all of this because we want President Trump to be the most popular president in history.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this whole like Epstein thing dangling around his neck might.
We are his greatest, most stalwart.
Hold on, one second. Here we go.
Defender. Joining us.
Yes, we must defend him. Even though he's on the Epstein list and is hiding it from us on purpose.
Now is Rich Barris. Rich, welcome here. You're on the phone, so we're going to overlay some B-roll. Rich, we want to have you on the program. We're
B-roll?
Highlighting all of this data that you...
What, do you got pictures of him fucking eating at a food court in a mall?
Have, because we love Trump, because we care about him. This is not an op.
And his swollen ankles, and his tiny mushroom dick, and his orange, flaky, itchy skin that apparently has in his varicose veins, and his Diet Coke habit.
From people who hate him. This is his most loyal, fervent, young voters in particular, but of all ages.
Yeah, I'm just saying around this story, maybe don't bring up young so much. Don't really hammer young home. You know, just, you don't draw the wrong attention to the thing.
That they want to bring the intel agencies to heel. And they look at Epstein as a representative of that very same deep state government. Rich Barris, we say that as a prerequisite. What is happening with the polling and the data around the Epstein situation?
Yeah, what's going on?
I think it's in. Thanks, as always, Charlie, for having me on. Yeah, I'm kind of en route from point A to point B, but I think it's important to repeat what
kind of like Trump with the Epstein situation.
You just said. It's not so much Epstein, the issue itself. It is a proxy issue, and I think that a lot of people have failed to understand it in that space where people see it as a way to hold a ruling class that has been getting away with everything, for years, accountable when they don't. So people have to first come to grips with that. It's not just, an issue that's been a partisan issue, Charlie. It's more like a ruling class versus we, the little guy, kind of an issue. So that's how people see it. Some of the president's most strongest supporters, and supporters, by the way, that he has been able to count on in the past, particularly in 24, that the Republican Party is not. So in the polling that we did just release, I think one of the biggest warning signs is that
where's this B-roll we're looking for?
Decline among 18 to 29-year-olds, that young voting group that we highlighted so much on your show going into 24.
Or suddenly like, wait a minute, he wants to fuck my little sister now. What the hell?
Trump was running so far ahead with this group compared to, even to Republicans who marginally improved, right? They did improve. They just didn't get all of that. They didn't squeeze as much blood out of that stone as Donald Trump did. And that was the biggest decline this month. Honestly, the reason why he didn't decline further, because in our poll, he only went slightly negative. It is the first negative that we've gathered from him this presidency. But he only did because that was partially offset, and I think people need to hear this, partially offset by a bump in voters who have a 4-year degree or higher. Those voters still tell us that they will vote Democrat in the 26 midterm election. This is a temporary bump among people.
Yeah, it's just a temporary bump. Meanwhile, hold on, let me see if I can.
And
grab
now
it.
he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein.
Hold on. This is Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist and a douchebag, and is Trump always? He's the guy who had lunch with Trump and Kanye. So his white supremacist bona fides are fairly slim, in that he would have in theory, brunch with a black man and an orange guy. So obviously, being the only white guy at the table, I guess, and he's got his Spanish last name. I'm not quite sure how he reconciles that, but that's his cross to bear, not ours.
And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck.
I feel like this is like video of Glenn Beck behind the scenes when he was doing, like, when they're prepping for that show and he had guests that were coming on and all that stuff, and he was like, he saw what Trump posted. This is what Glenn Beck really said.
You are fat, you are a joke, you are stupid, you are not funny, you are not as smart as you think you are. You are, and honestly, and if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam. When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were. When we look back in history, we will see Trump as a scam artist who served as a vehicle for this rather than the other way around. We were not the vehicle for Trump. Trump was the vehicle for all of us. And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are.
Sorry, now he's fat. Now he's not funny. And by the way, I agree. I think, chat, we can agree wholeheartedly that there is no situation where Trump is doesn't become a pariah amongst his own people. And I would like to close on this, if I may. Yes. For all of those who joined us today to look into this situation, at the fall of MAGA, the darkness it found itself in, the valley of the shadow of Derp State, and out there, I'm getting out of there, and there may be floodwaters arising in the valley of the shadow of the Derp State. And how will we ever trust anyone again? How will we ever? I don't even trust gravity anymore. I'm afraid to take another step. Because if you can't trust Jeffrey Epstein's wingman to not give you a proof he didn't hang himself in a video that's 10 hours long but missing 3 minutes and was edited in Premiere Pro, at least it was the full version and not Adobe Elements. But still, it's very hard. It's very hard. I don't know if I can take it. I don't know what we will do. But I feel like These 3 minutes are missing from I can't even speak, all of our lives. I don't know, I don't know, I'm able to do it. I can't, I'm afraid. And I'll tell you why I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I think, who's behind it? The kidney. That's... What the... Oh my God. The... What? What the hell? Help me. What is going on? No! I knew it. That's probably what's giving him the deep vein thrombosis that he doesn't have. Help. What the hell? How is this even possible? This shit. This is so wrong. Help! Help! Oh, hello there! Oh no.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Oh. Whew. God damn, I feel so much better about it when you put it that way. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Rob Glenn's joining me in the morning for Friday Eye. And I've been doing a lot of Epstein research using AI just to see how the different ones respond. And it's illuminating, to say the very least. And we'll have Greg Kelly's response tomorrow because he's going to have more. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for following, and thank you for the liking, and thank you for the subscribing. You're good people. God damn it. Thanks CSL for finding the clips, and thank you, Andrea. And CSL knew exactly where my, do you smell bullshit? I smell pork, man. It's exactly where it comes from. Come on now.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
Gee, I wish we had one of them doomsday machines.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
Man's got to know his limitations. Could easily be accomplished with a computer.
Oh, hello there! The Illudium Q36 explosive space modulator.
Interesting way to open up a conversation.
Why are you dressed like that? Hey, careful, man! There's a beverage here, huh?
Something strange happened to me this morning. Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sundial rows on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you? No. Why am I the only person that has that dream?
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm your huckleberry.
The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.